All right, hello. Good morning, everybody. Brock and Salk Show here on Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com, the Seattle Sports app, and then all the podcast platforms, and, of course, 97.3, HD2, and YouTube. Those last two are really good ways to watch and listen to the show. You will get to hear from and see Daniel Jeremiah today at 8:30 and talk some football with him. Shannon Drayer. At 9:30, we'll discuss the very latest on Josh Naylor and the rest of the Mariners offseason. By the way, Buster Olney is going to join us, it looks like, Thursday morning at 7:30. If you remember, Buster was the one who kind of started this Tarek Skubal idea with the Mariners a couple of weeks ago, and so I was texting with him last night, and Buster will join us on Thursday morning at 7:30, so that is to come. Let's see. Lyle, what'd you make of 5 years, $92.5 million?
Great.
Yeah, it's a pretty good deal. Maybe, again, we heard 4 for $80, right? Was sort of the number that was out there, $20 million a year for 4 years. This is a couple million less. It's 18.5 a year, so you get $1.5 million break, but you do it for an extra year. That sounds right. Sounds fair. Yeah, like there's some other things to talk about it, and there's a no trade clause in there and some other stuff, but sounds about right. Yeah, I think that's right in line with kind of what you would expect for Josh Naylor and what he's worth. So good on the Mariners, good on Josh Naylor, good on everybody for getting that done. That's awesome. And we'll talk a little bit more about that this morning as well. I did think that since, I don't know if you guys know, Twitter is down. X. It's down.
Oh, I know. Like, I don't know how to function throughout our morning.
I've got you covered, Maura. I've been thinking about it for a little while since I woke up, and it has not been working. I guess something's wrong with, is it Cloudburst or whatever? Something like that. I'm not hip on what it is that controls the internet and how all of that works, but Cloud something. Cloudburst, Cloud Source, Cloud something. Anyway, with Twitter down, Maura, there's an easy solution. If you can't use X to get all of your news in a convenient feed this morning, I'm just going to use Facebook. I think it should work fine. I mean, I get a lot of really good stuff on my Facebook feed if and when I go, and so like I figure I can just look at it.
So you're telling me like NFL trade deadline, you could just go to Facebook
instead. Yeah. Absolutely. NFL, MLB, whatever you need, you can just get all of your stuff through Facebook. I'll just read you like some of the stuff that's there over the course of the morning until Twitter comes back, and we'll know that it's good hard news that we could trust. Let's see. Here I have one that says Las Vegas Raiders Max Crosby pregame shirt has a suicide hotline number. Maybe it's true, maybe not. I don't know. You can never tell. It's maybe AI. Maybe they just threw numbers on there. Who knows? I have no idea. There's a picture of Max. It says call an audible. Maybe it's true. Maybe not. I don't know. It's just Facebook. No way to know whether any of it is real or not. You want some more news? I got other stuff. I mean, that's not the only thing going on this morning, of course, if you're on the social media here. I know there's no Twitter, but you got Facebook. It's fine. Let's see what's next in the scroll. Today, my son asked what the T in T-shirt stands for. I did not have an answer. I've never thought about it. Help us out, folks. All right, that's actually a good question. I don't know what the T in T-shirt stands for. Do you? I don't know what that means. Maybe you could help with that.
Would it be funny if Lyle was like, duh?
Yeah, Lyle knows the answer. He's been thinking about this and researching it forever.
Well,
Any idea?
It looks like a T if you
That actually
it
is it.
Yeah, that makes
sense.
sense.
The T in the T-shirt stands for the garment's shape. When laid flat, the shirt's body and sleeves form a capital T.
Well done, Lyle. Well done.
Look at you go.
See, you're
Off to a great start on a Tuesday morning.
You're the guy we needed for this, Lyle. You were made for this. So yeah, I'll look at this throughout the morning since I know we're probably going to be bummed out not to have sort of the normal Twitter news that comes through over the course of the morning. But it's fine because Facebook will have us covered, and I'm sure there'll be some really good stuff that shows up there and definitely real and definitely helpful. So
I want to apologize because I felt like what I just said there sounded way more condescending than I meant it to. You
About
guys just
Lyle?
gave Lyle a really hard time last week, and I was happy for the win.
Nice job, Lyle.
Thanks.
You don't feel that? Now you're nervous. You're nervous you're about to be attacked.
Oh, I wonder why.
Yeah. All right. 206 misses the point and says, thanks for informing me this morning that there isn't any fake AI stuff on X. No, that's true. There's not. I mean, look, the difference is with X, I'm not going to sit here and I don't love the platform either. I've basically stopped using it to post much, but at least you can narrow it for the most part down to things you want to see from the people you follow.
I mean, for sports news, you kind of have to be on it, and we know who to follow,
right?
So that we're not getting.
But yeah, this the Facebook. This will be good though. No, we'll have other good stuff. Hey, for instance, look at this. This just came across my Facebook feed. Seattle Mariners reach agreement on 5-year deal with first baseman Josh Naylor. Right here. It's right here on my Facebook feed. It just popped up. Thank you. That's so convenient. What phenomenal timing to get something like that just now on Facebook. That's great. That's really nice. Okay. Mike Macdonald was, I thought, pretty good yesterday. What'd you guys think? It was at least being in the room, he was not nearly as aggravated, annoyed, whatever word you want to put on it, as he was after certainly the Niners loss, and I would say after the Tampa loss. He seemed like he was in much better spirits. He was now again, that's not to say he was happy about the loss. Clearly he was not. But he did not have that same just like super like after the Niners game, like, dude, he could barely function, it felt like. He was so mad that they had lost that game and so annoyed with what had happened. And in this one, I don't know, maybe it's because his defense just played well. And so he had that to hang his hat on and feel good about. Maybe it was, the fact that it came to the Rams and they are a legitimately good team. Maybe he felt like they nearly, stole one, even though they didn't really necessarily deserve to win the game with all the picks. I don't know. Whatever it is, he I thought had a kind of a positive demeanor in looking at the team, where they're at, looking at the game. I don't know. I thought that was.
It did feel that way. He was kind of lighthearted.
Yeah.
I would definitely say he has told us in the past that whether he tries to change it or not, that obviously he does, I think, tend to care more whether the defense plays well or not. And you had to be pretty happy with what they did to Matt Stafford. No other team has really made Matt Stafford that uncomfortable this year. And I would assume he thinks getting a second shot at them that they can fix the offensive problems.
Dude, he messed them up. He really did. I mean, for all the talk of McVay and the offensive genius of the Rams, this and that, he messed them up. He really did. I mean, the only thing that got them in this game really was the picks. Well, it wasn't his defense. The defense was tremendous. Could they have been better? Sure. I mean, I'm not saying they were perfect. We talked about some of the issues they had in tackling, and Mike was, he was talking about that yesterday. They didn't do everything perfectly. Of course not. But, man, you're right. I mean, what they did to Matt Stafford, nobody else has done this year or even close. And so I think he probably comes away encouraged that they're continuing to move forward there. I would think the Gray Zabel news kept him, reasonably happy, right? The fact, I don't know, he may miss a game or two, and we'll see where this goes. I'll play you the sound coming up in a couple of minutes, but overall, fairly good news on Gray Zabel. It doesn't look like he's going to be lost for the year at the very least. And I'm sure he just saw a lot of the positive momentum from where this team has been to where it is now, to where it could be going. And knowing that he's got another shot against the Rams, even if he doesn't want to think about that for another few weeks, team's in good shape. They're still in a really good place at 7-3. You got a nice little stretch here against teams that you should beat, and then you get another opportunity to go take it on the Rams when it's said and done. So, yeah, if I'm Mike Macdonald, I'm feeling pretty good as well. That's why, yesterday we're going to talk about the Sam Darnold situation, and we'll talk more about it today. You can't throw 4 picks in a game. You just can't do it. But what do they do to fix it? And if they can fix it, how much more are they able to get out of him, out of the quarterback position, out of this defense, because you're not putting him in bad spots throughout the entirety of the game. So let's come back. We'll give you guys everything you need to know. There's a ton in there today. Man, I got tons of sound. Maura's mad at me. I put like 100 cuts on the sheet today. So let's see if we can get to 6 or 7 of them at least during Need to Know. I'll leave some time for it. Then Mike Macdonald. It's next on Brock and Salk.
The Mariners start the offseason with a bang.
It might not be Christmas yet, but Mariners fans, Josh Naylor is going to be under the tree by this week.
Massive bat flip, Josh Naylor.
I 5-year deal rather than testing free agency.
The fan base has been awesome. It's like almost electric.
He's done it all. Great defense, great at the plate. Insider reaction and analysis at SeattleSports.com.
He's got the snarl on the field, but he is a good teammate.
And the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off, because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next-day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends. And explore the lively nightlife scene. The dining district at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at BellevueCollection.com/dining district.
Michael is in his 70s, and he was dealing with an injury.
I had tears in my rotator cuff. Just the discomfort of going about everyday life. Day-to-day things were not comfortable or almost impossible, but just being inactive was troubling.
He was in a great deal of pain.
I started trying to learn how to brush my teeth with my left hand, and you can't do it. It was ridiculous.
Searching for answers, Michael found Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, where he underwent stem cell therapy.
You know, I played basketball Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and so I'm getting my shot back. It's not back to where it was, but hey, before I couldn't even do anything. So 100% improvement of what it was.
Wow, that's great to hear. Would you recommend stem cell therapy to others?
I can share without a doubt that it helped me, and I'm grateful for that.
Whether it's a shoulder, hip, or knee, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Hey, Doc, nice office. Quick question. If you had to choose, would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll, no question.
Seriously? Well, have you run payroll before?
Paying my team with Gusto couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next-day direct deposits, and automatically files my taxes. Saves me time.
Wow, that's nice.
Over here, Doc. Can I run payroll too?
Choose payroll without the pain. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
Michelle's Moment here for Gainbridge and their Give Back program, Gainbridge Assist, powered by Parity. Gainbridge and Gainbridge Assist, powered by Parity's goal is to empower girls and women through sports and education, providing 32 organizations in 21 states $222 of grant funding during 2025. These grants aim to level the playing field and expand access to sports and education for girls and women across the country. Here's to a future with no limits for women's sports with Gainbridge and Gainbridge Assist, powered by Parity.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III!
Get everything Seahawks at SeattleSports.com.
What's your holiday tradition? It's G. Scott here. For me, it's gathering with loved ones around a meal that brings joy. For many families, that tradition feels out of reach. Next time you shop at Safeway, please donate to Nourishing Neighbors. Your gift provides groceries to families across Washington, giving them access to nutritious food and the dignity to shop like the rest of us and choose what's meaningful for their holiday table. Visit nourishingneighbors.com and donate at your Safeway checkout. That's nourishingneighbors.com.
Does your building company have a strong website? One with a solid organic search presence, engaging prospects, and filling your pipeline? You know, a site that speaks loud about your company. I'm Rusty George. My local agency specializes in creating websites and marketing strategies for building companies, including construction, manufacturing, and material suppliers. We develop strategies and tactics to attract and win more quality business. See how we can help your business get louder at rustygeorge.com. That's rustygeorge.com.
I saw her texting coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
All right, raise your hand if you thought Gray Zabel was going to miss a lot more time than it now appears. I'll raise my hand. I thought he was going to miss a lot more time than what we found out yesterday. Great news from Mike Macdonald. He told us at 9:45 that he was optimistic.
I'll say it's optimistic right now. So initial news is really positive.
And then later in the day, it got confirmed because by then he was using much better language, including day-to-day.
Yeah, so really fortunate. There's, I guess we avoided a significant injury, which is really positive. I'd say the words I heard were day-to-day. You know how that goes. It could be day-to-day. It could be a week. It could be, more than that. So, but nothing significant, which is a huge positive.
Well, I would hope that is music to the ears of anybody connected to the Seahawks, to this program, a fan, media, whomever. I mean, this guy's been a mammoth difference maker in his rookie season. It's been, I think Brock was saying it yesterday, exactly just what this team needed up front at a position that had been a turnstile for years now. So, getting him, or at least avoiding a long stint, missing the rest of the year, hopefully missing an IR stint, hopefully not missing multiple weeks. That is huge news. If I had to guess, and this would be nothing more than an uneducated guess, I have no information whatsoever. Gut tells me misses this week against Tennessee, right? One of the worst teams in the league. And then we'll see what happens from there. I'd be surprised. I mean, look, I don't know. It just feels like when you have an opportunity against a team like Tennessee, and he's day-to-day / week-to-week, and we'll see, that maybe he ends up missing a week just to make sure everything's good, give Christian Haynes an opportunity for a game, and then the next week you're more than likely to see him again. Just my gut, don't have any information, but I don't know, just sort of the history of things like this. That's kind of what it tells me. By the way, it also sounds like we might not be too far from seeing Julian Love, and then I think I just was enjoying how much Mike Macdonald wanted to see him. Here was Mike Macdonald.
Yeah. What does he got? 2 more games or 1 more game? 1 more game. I think this is the last point. I think this is the last game.
Okay. And is that progressing behind the scenes well?
My expectation is he should be ready to roll on Wednesday. Okay.
Kind of get the sense he might be ready to get his communicator and free safety back in there as soon as possible, and I'm not sure I can blame him.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
All right, details are in on the Josh Naylor contract. 5 years, $92.5 million. That's $18.5 a year. So that would put him basically just behind Julio for the 3rd highest paid player on the team. Luis Castillo would be number 1, just ahead of what Randy's projected to make. I was seeing yesterday, Spot Track had him at 16. Roughly in arbitration this year. Not that we know that, but that's kind of what the estimate would be. It also includes a full no trade clause, which I think makes sense. If I were Josh Naylor, that's what I want. I've been traded as many times as he has. I'm sure he wants the stability and the security of knowing where he's going to be, and it gives him some leverage if the team ever does want to deal him down the road. And yeah, I do have a little hesitancy about that. offering that to a player who's been traded 4 times before his 29th birthday. But they got to know him. They got to feel comfortable with that risk. And if that's what it took to get this deal done, as Ryan Divish said yesterday, they kind of knew they had to get this deal done.
All of this worked, and texting with some people in the Mariners front office about this when, the news started to break and getting confirmation and everything. Like one of the executives who talks really, really fast and is a big fan of Ohio State just said it had to get done. This is a guy that wanted to be here. This is a guy they wanted to be here. And when you have that in common, then you can't mess around. You get it done. You find a way to get it done, even if you go out of your comfort level.
Yeah, that is a very clear description of Justin Hollander. Talks fast and he's a big fan of Ohio State. Not very subtle there from Mr. Divish on with Bump and Stacy yesterday. In terms of moving forward, there's a lot of opportunities for conversation now. We are going to talk a little Tarek Skubal at 7:30. But Divish also kind of weighed in on what you would do now with Jorge Polanco and how much you'd spend.
I think they should kind of give him the Mitch Garver deal, 2 years. $24 million, maybe give it an option for a third if he's got like a vesting option, kind of like what he had this year where he performs. But other than that, no, I wouldn't break the bank on him. And I think, again, that's a guy that wants to, it's similar to Naylor. He's a guy that wants to be in Seattle. He likes the team. He likes the familiarity. He doesn't like change a lot. So I don't think he's out there like looking to wring every dollar out of the situation. So maybe that's one that gets done. I think they were hoping they could get it done right away as well.
I don't know. I still have some concerns. I love his fit in terms of his ability to play second and DH and first if you need him, the switch hitting. 3 years feels risky for me when it comes to Jorge Polanco. We'll see if the Naylor deal gives them enough leverage to try to get something done on their terms.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
All right, tons of good stuff from Mike Macdonald yesterday. I could be playing you guys sound all throughout the morning. Let's try this one. I thought this was great, and we'll play you the whole thing coming up in about 10 minutes. But, look, we all know Sam Darnold turned it over 4 times. What do you say about that, and what do you do to fix it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. We need Sam to play. We can't turn it over 4 times, and Sam knows that. But you can't just say, the tricky part is you can't just say you can't turn it over. What kind of coaching is that? Don't turn the ball over. What? Well, do you want me to throw it on time, with precision to where the quarterback, yeah, okay, well, that could end up in a pick. So was that that was a good decision. So I think we've got to go back and look at decision criteria and the timing of play, go back to the inputs behind it. And I think we'll find some solutions that way.
I love the idea of just looking for solutions and look, that's his job. My job is just to sit here and say you can't throw 4 picks. I like his job of being, yeah, that's great. Cool for you to say. We actually got to go out and find this guy some help so that doesn't happen again. He doesn't throw 4 picks when he's comfortable. Obviously, he was feeling uncomfortable in that game. Things are bad in Las Vegas. Pete's Raiders blown out again last night, this time by the Cowboys at home. Geno throwing his 13th pick of the year.
That's tipped and picked. Intercepted by Marquise Bell. Off the hand of Kenneth Murray.
Yeah, 13th of the year, but that's actually not the worst stat of the night for the Raiders. Geno led the team in rushing yards with 14. Ashton Genty ran it 6 times for 7 yards. And by the way, one of those rushes was for 11 yards. The other rushes were 5 yards for -4, or 5 rushes for -4 yards. I don't even really know what to say about that. That is, for a guy in Pete Carroll who wants to run the football, that is tough. Kraken will be in Detroit tonight, and that is everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. I love this. Mike texts in saying, good morning, guys. Just wanted to say, just drove by T-Mobile, and they got a J and an N highlighted on the stadium for Josh Naylor. That is pretty awesome. Awesome to see, and everyone should be happy. It is a really good thing to get this guy back, and I think it hopefully is the type of force multiplier Mike Macdonald likes to talk about, where Naylor can be that and maybe even help them get some other deals done here before the offseason is over. All right. Mike Macdonald, as we said a few times, if you missed any of this yesterday, it's great. He was, I think, a whole lot more, positive, even, I don't know what the right word is. You have to listen and judge for yourself. It's next on Brock and Salk.
Wyman and Bob.
To me, the biggest thing about this Naylor deal
every afternoon at 2
is not that they signed him, not that he makes sense, that he fits perfectly. All of that is true. What it represents to me is a shift in philosophy with ownership, with the front office. It's the biggest free agent deal since Jerry DiPoto's been in charge. And to me, this represents a huge change in philosophy that I hope continues while they address other positions.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
All right, Mike Salk here, and as you start thinking about your future, you probably need help, at least with the financial element of it. It's really hard to know the best way to accumulate wealth, but honestly, there are a lot of advisors out there who can help you with it. Trajan Wealth is one that I want you to call, 206-466-3300. Really, to me, it's much more about the individuality of it, the way they're going to ask you questions, the way they're going to get to know you, your needs, what you need to get out of the financial markets, and then maybe more importantly, steps 2 and 3 in the program. 1, how you end up taking those disbursements later so that you maximize what they're worth, maximize the tax efficiency, and then finally, how you prepare for your future, for your kids' future, whether it's a trust or a will, understanding how to leave a legacy. It's so important. That's why I say call Trajan Wealth and learn more. 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300. Just set up an introductory meeting. It's complimentary, just to learn more and to let them learn a little bit about you. Again, go to TrajanWealth.com or call them at 206-466-3300. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor, paid advertisement.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Are you ready to unleash the beast?
Monster Energy is here to give you the edge this college tailgate season. Loaded with bold flavors, our powerful blend gives you the energy you need to push you beyond your limits. Tune in all season long with Monster, the energy drink of ESPN Radio College Football Tour. Power your performance with a drink that's as hungry for victory as you are. Crack open an ice-cold Monster and dominate your competition. Monster Energy. Unleash the beast. Grab yours today.
On the golf tee, it's Skechers World Champions Cup. Watch it live December 4th and 5th on ESPN and ESPN Plus, 12 to 4 p.m. It's PGA Champions Tour golfers from all over the world. Team USA versus Team Europe versus Team International. Watch it live December 4th and 5th on ESPN and ESPN Plus, 12 to 4 p.m. The competition will be tense, but feet will be comfy. Tune in to Skechers World Champions Cup. Final round of golf on Sunday, December 7th on ABC, 1 to 5 p.m.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
Your time is money. So why are you wasting it stuck in I-5 gridlock, TSA slowdowns, and SeaTac crowds? Isn't it time to travel smarter? Seaport Airlines offers high-frequency commuter shuttle service from Seattle's Boeing Field to Portland. Park for free next to our terminals. Check in 20 minutes before your departure. Get there faster without the hassles. Seaport Airlines. It's about time. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
At Washington Energy Services, we take the time to get to know you and your home. We have the passion and commitment to see each project through and to treat our work as more than just a job. For over 65 years, we've offered award-winning home services, from heating and cooling, plumbing and electrical, to windows and doors. Complete home improvement handled from start to comfort. For peace of mind when you need it most, count on Washington Energy Services, bringing good energy to your home.
Hear that? Sounds like holiday fun kicking off at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Kind of like the starting bell to Grandma's house. Or maybe snowbirding. And eventually back home safe and sound.
Hey guys, we're home.
Just remember to stop by before you go to make sure your road's as smooth as possible. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Oil changes in about 15 minutes. No appointment needed.
At Pacific Power Batteries, you won't find anything with pumpkin spice. We sell batteries for everything to anyone. No warm, fuzzy mittens, no umbrellas, no potpourri in our nice stores. But when the going gets tough and the lights go out and your stuff won't start, you'll be glad that you came to Pacific Power Batteries. And if you're not sure if your battery is dead, we'll test it for you for free. We will sell no battery for anything before it's time. We're honest people at Pacific Power Batteries, doing batteries since 1985.
Brock and Salk's Rewind is presented by Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton.
This is the Mike Macdonald Show, presented by your local 76 and Conoco stations, exclusively on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Well, here he is, Coach Macdonald. Good morning, sir.
Morning. Still no intro.
No. Well, you said you don't like the sound effects. You don't like the sound bites, so we gotta.
I think we gotta go to the transcript on that. I don't know if I said that verbatim, but
you know what? I'm not going to test your memory. Something tells me it's a whole lot better than mine, which wouldn't take a whole lot. You know what? Rather than start with the game, then let's just start there, because I was thinking about that, and not just memory, but decision making. We could talk through the game and what happened, and we'll talk about Sam, and I promise I'll ask you about. I'm going to find a fun way to ask you about Gray Zabel. I don't know. Tell me about decision making, and we've talked a little bit about it in the past, but I'm constantly amazed by your ability to focus on what you're doing with the defense and coordinating the defense, all the while making a decision on fourth downs and punts and kicks and all of that stuff that seems to have a pretty clear process behind it.
Well, you don't do it alone. Brian Ayers is a huge asset for us, and he's on top of all those situations, and so we're working together. And Chris has got a great setup on the little button, the whole whatever that thing's called,
like your communication.
Yeah, communicate. I got I got a bunch of channels I can talk to Brian directly while still being on offense and defense, and so like the communication's efficient. Yeah, and I mean there's some normally like the situation and the analytics suggestions are like congruent, and that streamlines like the process. Now, like last night, there were some times where like it was a really hard go or a really not hard go, and I felt the opposite, so those are the ones that get not funky, but it's just like you got to just trust your gut on like how the team's doing, what you need in that moment, and how you want to stay aggressive, things like that. So
is there a conversation there? So if you think it's a hard go and the numbers say it's a hard not, do you say, hey, look, my gut's telling me this isn't a good idea, convince me?
No. I mean, like sometimes I'll ask Brian his opinion, but like, and Leslie's on that channel too. Les will give his opinion. So, it probably happens maybe, 2-3 times a game, where in a lot of these situations, I was actually thinking about this the other day or after the game, like for every fourth down decision we make, there's probably at least a half a dozen fourth down conversations that are like every new set of downs, you're going through the process of what's a go, so every time you get a first down, it's a whole new conversation. And so it's constantly happening throughout the drive. It's not like you're just saying like, all right, this drive, we're just going to go for it on 4th and 1. It's like, no, it's where the ball is, where the first down is and all that type of stuff is what drives the model and what drives your decisions.
Did you have a sense going into that one, just, knowing what you know about them and what they know about you, did you have a sense going into that one yesterday that there was going to be seemingly a bunch of these just game management decisions throughout?
Well, you think that every game. I mean, those are the things you're preparing. The way that it, like I do, that we do game management here is we kind of kick the week off with how we expect it to go, kind of get an update in the middle somehow, and then in the middle of the week, it's like you're balancing being a head coach and a defensive guy, and then as the week starts to wane, now you kind of circle back on where you're at game management wise and kind of put the finishing touches on it and say, okay, this is the kind of the plan of going in, and then obviously this game starts to unfold. But so that the process was the same, Brock, but we now the model was probably a little bit more aggressive than usual in certain areas of the field. So we knew that, and what I like about how we do it is Clint knows that on what's today, Monday. He knows that on Tuesday, so we should we'll have a full week of being able to, maybe you need some more 4th and 3s in your back pocket or 4th and 4s, So and Clint's great. I'm like, hey, how do we feel about 4th and 4, 4th and 5 here? And he's like, yeah, we're good, and so. Yeah, it's a good process.
You've mentioned before that that the game will declare itself, I think is your phrase that you've used as you're in it. Mm-hmm. How did yesterday's game declare itself as it went?
Well, it started a little bit different than our games have started throughout the season. It does show you that we can respond, given a rocky start. And then, as you get into the second half, I mean, you start looking at how many possessions you're going to have and, I think probably in the fourth quarter is probably when you say, okay, this is how we're going to have to play here to try to win the game. And so that's what we did. Like the 8-9 minute mark, and you're down 2 scores, you got to make a decision. You can do what the Cardinals have done to us and say, that's their personality, probably because that's kind of fits their personnel and their MO is they go fast and they get in 4 open and they rip it down the field, and if you stop them, great. If not, you're probably getting a takeaway or a sack. And that's how they roll. We have to make a decision, what's our best way to try to move the ball here, So our decision was, hey, we could have gone straight 2 minutes in that situation. We decided to try to keep our normal operation, maybe a little bit more pace, and then I think we didn't score on that one, and then we get at the stop on defense, and then at that point we knew we had to go. We had to score by a certain amount of time, and we beat that mark by about 5 seconds, so that was good.
Mm-hmm. What's it like matching wits with McVay?
Oh, I don't know. You don't. It's funny, as a play caller throughout the week, sometimes you forget who you're playing because you're all right, we're playing the quarterback and we're playing the play caller, because they have a personality and they have how they're trying to. That's how I think about it, So I'm like, who are we playing again this week? Oh, okay. Well, I was just thinking we were playing so and so and so and so, But it's with him that given your input, he's going to have a response, and normally it's a good one. And so he's great at what he does. I mean, the record speaks for himself, the numbers speak for themselves, all those things. So it's a massive challenge, and our guys executed our game plan well. And frankly, I didn't put us in great situations several times throughout the game, and our guys bailed me out. So that's how it works. And so our guys deserve a ton of credit for how they played last night. They played really physical, cohesive football, and they responded well. I don't think we started the game very well. I mean, me neither. But they responded and settled down and played great ball probably the last 3 quarters.
Kind of surprised I've never asked you this in a year and a half. It's more on me. But there were some guys through the years, Mike, and Gary Patterson probably topped the list in my production meetings with the old TCU head coach and play caller. And he felt like it was his job to defeat every play. That was his mindset. And most of the coordinators were like, we play our scheme. I just want to put my guys in a position. And obviously tendencies, all those things play a role in their calls as well. But Gary in particular was like, play by play, I want to defeat what I think they're going to do. Do you find yourself a little more in that camp of it's on me to really tendency, personnel, study all of it to try to defeat the play that Sean's going to call?
Brock, that's a phenomenal question. That's a great question. I think it's a spectrum, and I think you can be successful on wherever you fall on the spectrum. So I've worked for guys that are fully on that side of it, and we had every answer in the book. And some games the offense didn't move the ball. Some games it was not pretty, and our execution, I think, was a little bit lower than it should have been. And we've played for some guys or worked for some people that are probably on the other end that kind of we do what we do and we call it given the situation, and let's just go outplay them. We're here. We're definitely somewhere in the middle. There's some. I think it's just based on the situation and what they're telling you and what you need. So we're always hunting ways to try to create negatives. We're always given every situation. Sometimes the opportunities aren't there, and you gotta quote unquote punt in that situation and kind of hedge your bets. That's how I think of it. Sometimes you say okay, kind of like betting or like playing poker. Not that I bet or whatever, but it's like. Officially, okay. That's on the record.
Yes.
But you know what I'm saying? Like at some point you realize the odds could be
fold.
and then and so you fold and you kick it and you say, okay, let's get to the next play. That's how I think of it here. And some games we feel like there's a lot of opportunities where we can kind of step on the gas. Sometimes we feel like we gotta just go out play them. It's interesting. Yeah, it's that to me that's what makes the whole game planning process fun. And then you see the guys throughout the week and what we feel like we can execute well and what resonates with the guys and things like that. And then as the game goes, how are we playing? Are we just rushing our tails off and we're covering the heck out of them? Okay, well let's why reinvent it? Or hey, maybe sometimes we got to throw some sauce on it to kick it up a notch a little bit.
That's a really interesting answer, and I would have to guess that in order to do that, you need smart players who are capable of handling some different types of ideas week to week, and you got to have some really versatile players who can be in a lot of different spots.
Well, you're right, and the I think where we've done it when we do it right, it's all within our wheelhouse, and we're just kind of changing thing or the criteria from week to week. So hey, we're playing this unless that, or hey, we're playing this based off of this, without kind of giving away how we roll. But like there's some of that going on where we end up always playing stuff that we should know how to play for the most part. Don't tell D-Law that, but
what? Go ahead, Brock.
Well, you were asked about this yesterday, and we've talked through it, and I, as an old quarterback, loved it, who had a 5-interception day in the biggest game of my life in the 97 Apple Cup, sending the Cougs and Ryan Leaf to their first Apple Cup in 65 years. So I've got that scar, and that scar remains, and there's nothing better than your teammates picking you up. Ernest Jones, this was the sound of it yesterday. Mike, you were asked about it. You hadn't heard it then. I just want to make sure I play it for you, and I would love your reaction to Ernest.
I've actually heard this one, but you're welcome to replay it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good sound. We kind of like it. Cut number 9.
I mean, Sam's been balling. Like, if we want to try to define Sam by this game or what, man, Sam's had us in every game. So for him to sit there and say, "Oh, that's my fault," no, it's not. There was plays that defensively we could have made plays. There were opportunities where we could have got better stops. Yeah, I mean, like, it's football, man. And he's our quarterback. We got his back, and you got anything to say, quite frankly.
I don't think you need a quote from me. I mean,
what
look.
Does that say though about your culture, right? I mean, so you steer the ship of the culture.
I mean, Ernest is one of our top leaders on our football team. I think that's indicative of how our whole football team feels, and it's kind of like a non-issue to us. It's just like, yeah, we lost as a team. We're going to learn from it. We're probably 3 yards and a little bit better of a kick from being really fired up at the end of the game and knowing that we had a lot to work on anyway. So it's kind of like, it goes back to our process and what we can learn from and how we can be somewhat even better prepared and more ready to play and start faster in games like that. But that's Ernest though. I mean, that's who he is. Freaking beast. Awesome guy.
With all that being said, how would you assess Sam's day yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. Like we need Sam to play. We can't turn it over 4 times, and Sam knows that, and but you can't just say, like, the tricky part is you can't just say you can't turn it over. What kind of coaching is that? Like, don't turn the ball over. What? Well, do you want me to throw it on time, with precision to where the quarterback, yeah, okay, well, that could end up in a pick, So was that that was a good decision. So I think we've got to go back and look at, like, the decision criteria and the timing of play, like, go back to the inputs behind it. And I think we'll find some solutions that way. It's just like, coaching's like, just, we joke like the sheriff in the weight room, we always joke, like, just lift the weight. It's like, well, how, like, how do you want me to? So, run it better. It's like, well, we need to execute better. Well, how do you execute better? Like, let's actually dive into this thing rather than just take the easy, lazy way out.
What imprint did Jim Harbaugh have on you in this way? As a former, 20-year NFL quarterback that he was, with good days and bad days and everything else. Yeah. As you kind of hear yourself communicate to the quarterback, do you find some of the imprints and inputs that Jim had with you?
That's interesting. I haven't thought of that. It's kind of cool because we got Jay's on our staff, and he's a huge asset for us, and so he has a lot of insight about how his dad thinks, which is really cool, and that's really insightful. From my point of view with Jim is just like ultimate competitor, and it's us versus everybody else, so it's like, it's us, and we're gonna go down freaking swinging together, like there's nothing that's gonna splinter us or anything like that. And I think the players felt that with Jim, and like it was like he was such a competitor, but it was through the lens of how we are gonna operate. I'm actually doing the Jim hand signals right now.
But that's probably a little bit of earnest, right? I mean, that's why you love that.
Yeah.
And because he's got his back. And I'm sure your conversation with Sam, either throughout or after, or is, hey, man, I don't want you to be checked down, Charlie. You can't play this game scared to make a mistake, right? I mean, I'm sure some of your messaging echoed some of that, of like, it's just how you navigate. Maura asked like last hour, like how you navigate that aggressiveness line. You do it as a play caller. You've got to do it as a quarterback. Like, how do I navigate when to pull the trigger, when to not, when that window's too tight, when it's not, right? Like, that's kind of the communication game, I would think.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, in real time, like, we're not asking to, I know I'm not like, hey, navigate the decision criteria better. Like, I'm not, that's not what we're saying. I'm telling them, hey, freaking keep ripping it, bro. Like, we're good. We got you. That we needed that. No, I mean, I don't like. Point being is we needed him to have that same mentality, because ultimately, we're putting a tough spot there on -1 yard line. But, for us to go win the game, we're going to have to go put the ball down the field, and for the most part, we did that. So.
Is that about the best clutch punt you've ever seen?
That was a heck of a punt, man.
That was a heck of a punt.
That was a great punt.
I mean, it really just what an act. I mean, I'm sure you're on the sideline. You got to be kidding me. Like, get the ball at the 20, get the ball at the 10, the 1. Like, that's a really good punt.
Yeah, it was tough, but you can't sit there and cry about it. You got to come up with a good play, and I thought we did a good job of getting off the goal line and into our 2-minute offense. I think we can execute a little bit better. We should be able to execute that operation better, and we're going to learn from that.
It feels like every week I've asked you about a different member of this defense who jumps out, and it's like, man, that guy's really good too. And Brock and I were going through all of the names of guys who just jumped out to us yesterday who made really flashy, great plays that anyone can see. Yeah. We haven't talked, I don't think, once about Chenna, and you didn't really get to experience him much last year in your first year, and he wasn't fully healthy to start this year. And now finally you're getting full Chenna. What does he bring? What does a healthy Chenna bring to this defense?
Well, the first thing is just his mentality and physicality is hard to match. Well, it's actually easy to, like, hey, it's an easy guy to follow. Like, this is the way to play. I mean, he plays like a Seahawk. Like, he's just, physical, disruptive, decisive, finishes plays. He's versatile. Like, he's one of those guys that can do all the things, which is really cool. And just his mentality is as tough as nails, and he's a great leader and does a great job just on a daily basis. It's really cool. And he's one, like, when we kind of want to, we talked about when we first got here, you go over the roster, and the people, our people here, like, loved him. Hey, this is the type of guy he is. This is what, type of player he is. And we're watching the tape, we're like, man, this guy's pretty dang good. We knew we knew of him, but now you're starting to really dive in. And we showed that last year when he was playing. I mean, I'm thinking of the Minnesota game. The guy absolutely dominated that game. And with all the setbacks he had, I mean, it's great to have him back now, rocking and rolling. This is the guy that we envisioned, playing for us. And so, but I think there's also room to grow, which I think is really exciting. I mean, I think he can even take his game to another level.
If you were down at spring training with us, Mike, and you got to watch the Mariners at the picnic table like we do, one of the neat aspects of it is their rotation is lights out. And yet all of those guys watch each other work out. Like, when they do a bullpen, like, all of them want to watch what they're doing and watch what they're doing. And it's not a one-upsmanship. It's almost a respect thing. And I do wonder, as you mentioned, the physicality of Chenna, if there is just a physicality bar within your front that's like, hey, man, Leonard's here, Chenna's here, D-Law's here, like,
yep.
D Hall's here, Boye's here with a tackle for lots. Like, this is the bar. Like, and everybody's got to, like, sharpen each other. That old iron sharpens iron. Do you feel that within your front?
Well, I would say that that's the standard throughout our whole defense.
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting to the point where when we don't do it, it sticks out like a sore thumb. And it's like you got to eradicate it immediately, And I think the guys recognize, like, think about Tampa game. We started the game. We had a hard time. We weren't tackling great in the Tampa game. It took us a little while to kind of get really took the whole game. I mean, it wasn't a good tackling game overall. We started yesterday's game, and we missed several tackles to start. And but we regrouped, the guys kind of, recalibrated, reloaded, and got back after it because they knew that we weren't hitting our mark, and then we made it right. So I think that shows us that we're growing.
Well, where are we with Gray Zabel? Is there a reason to believe that he's avoided a season ender?
I'll say it's optimistic right now. So initial news is really positive, but we gotta let's get out of the fog here before I start making any declarations. But
did you get imaging last night, Coach? Imaging last night or this morning?
Yeah, we're it's this morning. Yeah, I think it's actually happening. Right. So we're going off of right now is like the the test, like
the ACL test and the initial testing. Yeah,
that's right. So
okay,
I think he's actually getting imaged as we speak. So,
and then the timing with Jaron and Julian, just where they are in their IR kind of stints, and will Julian be back? He'll be back first, right? He went on IR earlier.
Yeah. What does he got? 2 more games, or 1 more game? 1 more game. I think this is the last one. I think this is the last game.
Okay, and is that progressing behind the scenes well?
My expectation is he should be ready to roll on Wednesday. Okay.
Nice.
Would you like to have him back?
Like Christmas time, right?
Yes.
So my mom was awesome with Christmas. It was a great time of year. We always had a little calendar where you pluck the thing out of the, what are those things called? Advent calendars?
Yeah, Advent calendar.
Yeah, we have a Julian Love calendar.
Advent, Julian Love Advent, Jaron Reed Advent.
Hopefully that's not I apologize if that seems blasphemous, but it's not meant to be.
That was Mike Macdonald. I thought, again, really interesting conversation yesterday. If you missed it, we do have this text more. Maybe you can help people again. Hey, team, can we get the Mike Macdonald Show back into the podcast feed? It's been a few weeks.
I'm not sure what else to do. I put a description at the end of the podcast.
I'm just going to let people know now.
Yes, definitely. I think we're trying to keep it exclusive to us for the first 24 hours, so you can find it on our podcast page. You can find it on our app, on YouTube. And then at 10 a.m. after the show today, we were making it so that it would appear on Apple if you follow the Mike Macdonald Show there.
Okay.
I requested that we make it so that it appears on the Brock and Salk Show page at 10 a.m. today as well.
So it'll
that
pop up
should
today.
happen.
Okay, so it'll pop up if you regularly follow Brock and Salk podcast on Apple. It'll pop up today at 10, and same with next week and the week after that. That's how it's supposed to work. If you want it earlier, you got to go either to the Seattle Sports app or to YouTube, because those are, I guess, content platform. I don't understand the business side of it.
Website and then go to the podcast page, and you'll find a Mike Macdonald Show podcast.
There you go. I don't understand the website. Or the business side of it nearly as well as I once did. So that is how it is. You get it today, 10 a.m. in your feed, or pretty easy. Just download the Seattle Sports app. Honestly, it really is easy, and then you can kind of do everything from there. So, all right, that's the latest and greatest. Brock is in next. I do want to come back to a lot of what Mike Macdonald had to say. Why did he seem a whole lot less annoyed yesterday than after the previous 2 losses? I got some theories. We'll hear what Brock has to say next on Brock and Salk.
The Mariners start the offseason with a bang.
It might not be Christmas yet, but Mariners fans, Josh Naylor is going to be under the tree by this week.
Massive bat flip, Josh Naylor.
5-year deal rather than testing free agency.
The fan base has been awesome. It's like almost electric.
He's done it all. Great defense. Great at the plate.
Insider reaction and analysis at SeattleSports.com.
He's got the snarl on the field, but he is a good teammate.
And the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today.
I'm Rusty George. My local marketing agency specializes in helping companies in the building and manufacturing industries develop the right kind of websites and marketing strategies to attract and win more business. Visit us today at rustygeorge.com.
Ryan Rowland-Smith here. For more than 35 years, the NBA Health Insurance Trust has been helping local builders, contractors, and their employees save money and gain peace of mind. They offer customized group health plans from the state's leading insurance providers. Small and mid-sized businesses deserve big healthcare access. The NBA Health Trust brings you the coverage you want at a price you can trust. Find out more at MBAHealthTrust.com. That's MBAHealthTrust.com.
Selling cars is a really easy business. It's complicated by really bad dealers. And why do we do that? Well, because we think that the less information we give and the more that we can dictate it on our terms, the more profitable we'll be. And what we found is that this is the exact opposite. The easier we make it, the more information we give, the more comfortable customers are in doing business with us. Now, that one transaction, we might make a little bit less on, but it's not the one. It's that one that leads to the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. It's not the one individual. He's like, but you never get to the spouse, the parents, the kids, the friends, if you don't take care of them first.
It's not a script. It's a belief. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
This one's for the flavor fanatics. Sour Apple 5-Hour Energy Shots don't mess around. They bring the bite. Tart, tangy, and packed with tasty caffeine, this little 2-ounce bottle punches above its weight. With 0 sugar and as much caffeine as a 12-ounce premium cup of coffee, it's the kind of pick-me-up that keeps your taste buds happy without the crash. And it doesn't stop at Sour Apple. There are 17 bold flavors waiting for you to discover. Pick one up in store or stock up online at 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon today.
Progressive knows not all rides are smooth. Meet Peter. He loves his motorcycle. What he doesn't love is wind. Which is ironic, because wind is a big part of the whole wind-in-your-face motorcycle cliche. But nobody ever tells you how relentless a strong crosswind is, or the cliche wouldn't exist. Not every ride is smooth, but Progressive has your back. Get a quote to see if you can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in D.C.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
This hour of the Brock and Salk Show is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
Get him freaking out! From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewert is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to accuse you of murder.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Ewert and Mike Salk.
Hello!
Morning, buddy.
Good morning, Michael.
How are we doing today?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah, doing pretty good. You? Got a lot done yesterday.
I could see that.
As I said in my first Mark Reed
Productive day.
Yeah, I just had a lengthy to-do list yesterday, and I just knocked off like 4 of them, and it feels good.
You just kind of in a good mood yesterday?
I mean, I
just
hit Bed Bath & Beyond. I hit Home Depot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds a pretty good little Saturday.
Little Costco. I mean, just knocked it all out.
Maybe you were in a kind of chipper, productive mood because Mike Macdonald seemed to be, even after a loss in L.A. And I don't say that in a negative way. He wasn't like inappropriately happy or anything like that. But I don't feel like we got the same tone as after the San Francisco game to start the year, where clearly he was mad, annoyed, aggravated, choose your adjective. I didn't sense any of that yesterday and spent some time trying to figure out why that might be. I don't know. Maybe because his defense played better, right? I mean, his defense was lights out, and that is a big part of his job, not the whole job. But he needs that defense to play well, and that's what the whole thing is based on. But Mike doesn't strike me as a guy who's like, I don't care whether we win or lose as long as my defense plays well. So that's not right.
Nope.
Maybe because he knows LA was the best team that they've played and they were right there with them. And, maybe a couple of different bounces goes different way. He feels differently about it because of that.
No, I think that's fair. I would say that I walked away from that conversation. That's the first time I've sent the link to a few of my coaching friends and just said, I think you'll really just enjoy the football discussed here. And I think that is his wheelhouse. You had said that to me. As brutal as that year was, trying to interview Belichick, because he was just a wall when it came to anything like sports radio, maybe enjoyable. But when it came to football and it came to the X's and O's or the history of the game, and you actually can open them up a little bit, then you feel his joy, And I used that line, I think, yesterday. I'll do it back-to-back days. Conviction is not what you grip, it's what grips you. And football grips these guys at this level. I mean, to get to Mike's level, at his age and his stage, it has just gripped him. It's what he loves to do. And yesterday, I thoroughly enjoyed the level of detail he went to and his play calling and his scheming. And I think rightfully so, Salk, he knows. Probably like those guys that are in chess. And when they face somebody on the other side of them, that's like, oh, Oh, he's got my horsepower. Horsepower versus horsepower.
Yeah, let's
go.
lock in here.
It's like when you're in match play, when you play out at Sun City with those old people, you're like, let's go.
Let's go. I finally found somebody who's my equal.
I found my people.
Sure. Thanks.
Ethel's 72, but she's straight. She hits it straight as an arrow.
I don't know why we need to make fun of Ethel, poor lady. I felt like
Merle. I'm sorry, Merle.
That seems unnecessary.
Merle hits it $1.85.
Let's not forget the guy who was packing on the course, Brock. When you go to Sun City, you never know who might be carrying a handgun. Like you never know who you're going to find out there. That was unique. Why do you need your handgun? Well, there's a lot of money out here. No, there isn't. No, there's not. What are you talking about? I wish you didn't have a handgun with you while we were playing golf.
Did he have it on the outside of his golf bag?
It was on the inside, thankfully.
Oh, it was on the inside.
Yeah.
When did you see that sucker?
I never saw it. He told me
orange
about
ball,
it.
Yellow ball.
He told me about it. He was like, yeah, well, that's why I carry a handgun out here. I was like, why? What do you mean? He's like, a lot of money out here. Like, what?
Yeah.
On what? The trailers that are like, what are you talking about? This is Sun City. This isn't Pleasant Hill. Like, what are you talking? Or what is it called? Fountain Valley, what is that area called out there? Fountain Hills. Maybe I think I just combined the two. Anyway, regardless, let's chill out there. All right, I think all of that is probably true, Brock. I also think that the previous two losses featured a game they should have won, San Francisco, in a game where his defense got beat, and he was clearly mad at himself, the Tampa Bay game.
Oh, yeah.
This one was very different from that, and I think more than anything, I felt like this game did not hurt the team's ego. I don't feel like the team came out of this game with a bruised ego of like, man, we tried to go up against the best and we got beat. Mm-hmm. I don't think they came out of it that way. Certainly the defense does not after what they did to Matt Stafford, not after what they did to that offense for the most part in that game. And I don't even think the offense comes out of it that way, partly because their problems are so directly attributable to the 4 interceptions, but also because even after that, they made him a pretty good run at the end and nearly won the game. And
Correct.
If you don't get a punt to the 1 yard line, they probably do win the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think what you're kind of referencing there, just kind of bigger picture, is these are, and you hear coaches say this all the time, and they lie about it many of the times because they know in their heart it's what they should say, but they don't really believe it. And these are all very correctable. This is not, oh my gosh, we can't block Aaron Donald. We can double and triple team him.
Right.
This is not Pete Carroll's beloved Las Vegas Raiders last night, whose O-line is bad or worse than any Seahawk O-line.
You mean 6 rushes for 7 yards from Ashton Jeanty?
I mean, every time you drop back, it is just overwhelmed. There's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to throw. It's debilitating.
Yeah.
And, Pete can say, I'm surprised. And bless his heart, he's been surprised through 10 games now at how bad they are. But it's debilitating. And those are not correctable because you're so physically overwhelmed. We can't run. We can't run by anybody. Well, that's not true. Right? I mean, you can kind of do everything. And the Seahawks team is capable of, I think, playing any style of game and doing so many different things that these are truly correctable. Come on, Sam. You know better than that. Come on, Sam. Don't throw late and outside or inside on an out route. Come on, Sam. Don't jump pass on 3rd and down. Come on, Sam. The guy's covered and he's layered in front and behind. Like, these are all pretty correctable decisions and correctable plays that if you just find a way to rectify those and settle down, you're going to be just fine. Just fine.
Yeah, here is what he had to say with us about those turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. Like we need Sam to play. We can't turn it over 4 times, and Sam knows that. But you can't just say, like, the tricky part is you can't just say you can't turn it over. What kind of coaching is that? Like, don't turn the ball over. What? Well, do you want me to throw it on time, with precision to where the quarterback, yeah, okay, well, that could end up in a pick. So was that that was a good decision? So I think we've got to go back and look at, like, decision criteria and the timing of play, like, go back to the inputs behind it. And I think we'll find some solutions that way.
So I had a bunch of different, speaking of inputs, and a bunch of different distinct guys that communicated in different ways over the course of my career. Scott Linehan, right, my offense coordinator, and went on to be an NFL head coach, and he's still coaching. He's coaching the league with the Saints and Kellen Moore now down there. And I never felt like, even my 5 interception game or whatever, it was never like, hey, don't do this, don't do that. He was a former quarterback. He knew it. You can't put that mindset, hey, Salk, don't hit it in the water. Hey, Salk, don't hit driver. You can hit in the water. Some of my mind games I like to play with you when we're golfing. Oh, you better not go right here. Look at all those houses.
I mean, you can tell me the other way. It still might go in there. Doesn't really matter.
And then I was in Seattle, and I remember very vividly there was that story I've told a number of times, a kid that just like, I can't play this way. You can't put me in a box. Don't throw it here. Don't make a mistake. Don't turn it over. If my whole life is don'ts, I can't go out there and create. I can't go play. Never heard Tom Moore ever say to Peyton Manning, don't throw an interception. Play smart, not scared. Yeah, man, just play smart, not scared. You got to rip it. It's a really difficult job, and you're the one walking that line, and I am not going to.
Well, but I think that Brock,
and a lot of D coordinators,
by
the way, will try to put the cuffs on their quarterback. Hey, man, just check it down. Hey, man, punt's okay. Hey, man, just don't turn it over. I don't feel that wiring from Mike Macdonald.
No, I don't either. I honestly, though, I don't know that even applies here. I love the thought. I don't feel like the Sam mistakes were because he wasn't ripping it. The mistake was or was because he was ripping it and then somebody else made a good play on him. They were plays where it was late. He tried to do more than those were not smart. Those were not smart, not scared. I would not.
3
put
of the
them
4
in
were that way. He tried to rip the seam right on his fifth step.
But the other three were late,
all secondary,
jump pass,
secondary decisions.
You just can't make those. You can't do that. Like those were not made with great confidence, which is why they ended up in the other team's hands. Okay, fine. And I think everyone can kind of live with the one that the safety jumped down the seam to Arroyo. I think everyone can kind of live with that one. Okay, you're gonna throw a pick on a ball like that. Like, yeah, all right, whatever. Yep. It's gonna happen. I get it.
Yep.
But the other three, falling backwards, jumping late, like those are the ones that I think we're going to end up talking about more over the course of the day. Josh Naylor, we get the details now on that contract. Brock will give them to you and need to know. And then we've got a whole lot of, it just leads me in like 8 different directions. We'll do that at 7:30. Stick around, lot to come. Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
Down on the field is Gray Zabel.
A big sigh of relief for the Seahawks.
Really fortunate. I guess we avoided a significant injury, which is really positive.
While Zabel recovers.
It could be day to day. It could be a week. It could be more than that.
Who steps up?
God bless Christian Haynes, man. He came in there. He's a tough sucker with heavy hands.
This is the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Well, we're 9 days away, 9 days away from Thanksgiving. And then we know around the corner after that is Christmas. Hard to believe how fast this fall is flying by, and the holidays are here. And do you or someone on your wish list want the gift of fitness this year? Hey, Brock Heward here, and the Top Fitness Black Friday sales event is going on right now. I'm talking saving up to $1,000 on inspired gyms and treadmills and true treadmills. Plus, get free delivery and assembly. That's right, free delivery and assembly on your Precor treadmills, ellipticals, and exercise bikes. You can also save up to 50% on last year's display models. That's a great deal. And Olympic weight bars, they start at just $50. And home gym attachments and accessories, well, they're 50% off as well, giving you some great options starting at just $10 for some stocking stuffers. No secret why everybody from personal trainers to pro athletes love my friends at Top Fitness. You can go see them in Tukwila, Linwood, or Bellevue, or go to topfitness.com for all the details. You don't have to wait. That Top Fitness Black Friday sales event, it is going on right now. Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Too many breakup songs getting you down? Put a little bossa nova in the playlist. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Get a good-to-go pass to save $2 every time you use it, and on other toll roads in Washington.
Your time is money, so stop wasting it in I-5 gridlock. Seaport Airlines offers high-frequency commuter shuttle service from Seattle's Boeing Field to Portland. Get there faster, without the hassles. Seaport Airlines, it's about time.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
This is the home of the Seahawks. Going to let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN Seattle Sports.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions. 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Well, Brock, I will raise my hand. I already did it once today. I thought Gray Zabel was going to miss a lot more time than it now appears. It looked bad. The way you were talking about it afterwards, that didn't make me happy at all. And then we got what I think you would describe as great news yesterday. First, Mike Macdonald with us in the morning.
I'll say it's optimistic right now. So initial news is really positive.
And then later in the day, he went a whole lot farther down that road.
So really fortunate. There's I guess we avoided a significant injury, which is really positive. I'd say the words I heard were day to day. You know how that goes. It could be day to day. It could be a week. It could be more than that. So, but nothing significant, which is a huge positive.
Right. I mean, you feel like you dodged
just
a bullet,
a collective sigh of relief, I think, all around the Puget Sound. Yes. Yeah, when he said to us yesterday that the initial tests were good, they know when you tear your ACL, they do that test. You'll see the trainers go on the field or on the sideline, Salk, and it used to be you could always see it. Now they go in the tent, but you can see them kind of pulling on the joint, right? They kind of pull the foot out, and they get a feel right away. If that thing is loose, they know that ACL is torn. That was a good sign when Mike said to us yesterday that the initial just kind of manual testing was all good. Now we got to see the imaging, and it sounds like the imaging is all good. Maybe there's a grade 1 strain of some sort, but some guys can play through it. And based on him missing, by the way, last week or being limited most of the week with a heel, I'm going to guess that tough sucker is going to do all he can to make sure he's available in Tennessee.
Yeah, it's funny. My gut told me exactly the opposite. Maybe I'm wrong. I just... Why not take the Tennessee
Those
game
linemen
off?
are proud, man. Those linemen do not. There is a sense of pride.
But you can shut them down. You can just tell them, hey,
look. On the wall that says, man, I am a durable, available guy.
But like, hey, man, we got a long way to go. This team has big aspirations.
I don't know. This team's got Jeffrey Simmons. Their very best player is right in the middle of that line. If they have one player that can be a difference maker, you kind of want your better people playing.
I get it. I still get that gut feeling he's not going to play this week, and then we'll see him the week after. Julian Love going to come back at some point. I think that'll make Mike Macdonald happy.
Yeah. What does he got? 2 more games or 1 more game? 1 more game. I think this is the last point. I think this is the last game.
Okay. And is that progressing behind the scenes well?
My expectation is he should be ready to roll on Wednesday. Okay.
I don't think he enjoys life without Julian Love. Not that they haven't played well, they have, but I think just that smart.
I mean, that pairing, Salk, of Kobe and Julian, that can be a pretty special sauce. Now, Kobe has bet on himself really, really well. He took the old Josh Naylor tact, as Boye Mafe and a bunch of these guys have, and they're all playing well this season. This defense has been difference-making, so it's not going to be maybe really easy to keep that pairing together, but as good as this group has been, they're going to be better when Julian Love is back on the field.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
All right, we got details on the Josh Naylor contract. 5 years, $92.5 million. That's about $18.5 a year. That would put him just behind Julio, Brock, for third on the team. Julio's second, and Luis Castillo is first. It's ahead of what Randy's projected to make this year in his final year of arbitration. Spotrac has that at about $16 million. Also includes a full no-trade clause, and we can dig into that a little bit later as well. But overall, I mean, as we've said, this was exactly what they needed to do. It's probably 1 more year than we expected, but for a little bit less per year.
Yeah. And my understanding is there were multiple teams at this level.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the reason it got done so early is this market moved pretty aggressively, right? Justin talked about that at the GM meetings that, man, the market is much more like an auction. And, when there were bidders, and I was in an auction event last Saturday, so all good.
Heard all
people,
about it.
Yeah, when there's people bidding, like, all right, are we willing to go here? And I think the brass there and the ownership made the biggest signing they've made, right, since Robinson Cano. Like, we're going to do this. We're going to commit to this. And this guy is that much of a difference maker. And whatever that number is, and this is where the auction ends up, we can live with that, and we can do that deal.
Well, and then you turn your attention to what to do next. We have talked quite a bit about the idea of Tarek Skubal, and I think, this now makes it a possibility to start having that conversation. Here was Ryan Divish yesterday with Bump and Stacy.
I think it's a realistic possibility because they'll always listen on anything, and they'll always, stick their nose in it to find out if there's anything there. I think for them to want to do that, they would have to have finished their roster a little bit more, had some clarity with Polanco or what they're going to do and the relievers. But yeah, I mean, they have more talent than anybody probably in overall farm system depth. And, the thing is, everybody thinks Skubal's going to cost the world. He will and he won't because it's a 1-year deal. You only get him for a rental. So it's not going to be as much as maybe you would think you'd have to give up.
Yeah, more on that conversation coming up here in about 10 minutes.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
I do have a lot of good other Mike Macdonald sound to play you, Brock. I thought I would spend a moment on this, though. I don't know if you saw this. Have you seen the snap counts yet for the Seahawks?
As far as who played how many different snaps?
Yeah.
I saw Woolen played a little more than Joe by a couple snaps.
By a couple. I'm a little curious how you fare on some of this quiz. 2 guys on this defense, just looking at the defense. 2 guys played 100% of the snaps.
2 guys played 100% of the snaps. Kobe Bryant and Spoon.
Ernest Jones. Kobe Bryant and Ernest Jones.
Okay.
Who's next at 94% of the snaps? That's 48 out of 51.
Drake Thomas.
Nope. Not even close.
It wasn't Spoon, huh?
No.
Interesting.
Spoon's actually a little farther down this list.
Is he really?
Not too far.
Huh.
Number 3 on this list at 94%, Nick Eamon-Wari.
Yeah.
94% of the snaps.
Yep. Should have known that.
Followed by Leonard Williams at 92. Same with Ty Okada. Then you get Spoon. Then Murphy, DeMarcus Lawrence, Drake Thomas at 73%. Woolen and Job are both next, 69 and 61%. One thing that jumped out to me, so you had Lawrence at 78 and Chenna at 59%. Hall and Mafe down at 37 and 33%.
Yep. Now there were not a ton of plays. The Rams played in possession.
There were 51 plays.
Yeah, you got off the field, you possessed the ball, you shortened the game big time in that way. I mean, 51 plays is as few as you're going to play in the NFL on average.
The Eamon one jumps out. I saw Brady tweeted about it yesterday. Like, you're talking about a positionless or three-position player who's finding his way onto the field nearly every single down.
That's exactly
He only
right.
missed 3 downs. And
in this matchup, especially with an 11 personnel and a 13 personnel, and as much as that pendulum swings, to have that guy just sit right in the middle of it, no problem, got it, can be an X factor, Salk, and you've talked about that. You know, this is the kind of guy you need if teams are going to try to do this. Joe Davis said it very bluntly to Greg at one point in the game, that basically what you're trying to do is get personnel on the field and force them to match, right? And then you take advantage of it. And that's the thought process. But when you've got guys like Eamon Worry, and the Rams have it on their side, I'll get to that in Blue 88, because they played the Seahawks very differently than anybody else. And when you've got guys that can run and stop the run, and maybe, they got the frame like Eamon Worry, or they're a little bit lighter, but doesn't matter, they can play both, then that kind of crosses the wires of that thought process.
Raiders beat up badly at home again last night. Ashton Genty, 6 rushes, 7 yards, and one of those rushes was for 11 yards. So the other 5 were for -4. Yikes.
Their front is pathetic.
It's bad. Kraken will be in Detroit today. That's everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. All right. Yes.
Genty's talented. Their tight ends are talented. They got one talented receiver. That O-line is so bad. And Geno, shame on Geno. Shame on Geno, man. Like Michael Penix, when he got beat up and just smashed, and now for the 6th time in 8 years, he's not going to finish a season. The only 2 were in Seattle, Salk. He made a very clear decision. I got to go somewhere with a really good O-line, like 2 NFL offense tackles, 1st and 2nd rounders, like dudes. And Geno's like, man, I got to go with Pete. We'll figure it out. And boy, are they bad.
All right.
Bad.
Well, coming up next, Brock, the Naylor deal is done. A little different from what people may have expected, but man, does it start to clear up some of the picture for what could be a confounding offseason. It's next on Brock and Salk.
Wyman and Bob.
To me, the biggest thing about this Naylor deal
every afternoon at 2
is not that they signed him, not that he makes sense, that he fits perfectly. All of that is true. What it represents to me is a shift in philosophy with ownership, with the front office. It's the biggest free agent deal since Jerry DiPoto's been in charge. And to me, this represents a huge change in philosophy that I hope continues while they address other positions.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
All right, what are you headed to do this weekend? I was just telling some people about Snoqualmie Casino last night, Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, more specifically, because of what they've built. The new hotel, the rooms are awesome. The new restaurant is great. Cool view of the whole Snoqualmie Valley, and then great food, indoor-outdoor deal, tons of TVs, so it's a good sports bar as well. And then you got the spa, you got the big new concert hall and convention center, and let's not forget the pool as well, another indoor-outdoor deal. All of that with the expanded non-smoking gaming floor. Yeah, you got to go out there, check it out. Go to snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Black Friday Comfort Sale is on now at Home Comfort Alliance. Save up to 75% on furnaces, ACs, heat pumps, EV chargers, generators, and more. And take 18 months to pay with 0% financing. Call before December 1st. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service will help your company with logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linen, and more. Give us a call. We answer the phone. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do. Visit suplinen.com.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167, some things have changed and some things haven't.
Using those lanes without a good-to-go account means you'll receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. You'll always pay the lowest toll rate with good-to-go. No change. Carpoolers now need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Does a good-to-go pass still save you $2 on every toll? Definitely not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com. Free Flex Passes while supplies last.
Ryan Roland Smith here. For more than 35 years, the NBA Health Insurance Trust has been helping local builders, contractors, and their employees save money and gain peace of mind. They offer customized group health plans from the state's leading insurance providers. Small and mid-sized businesses deserve big healthcare access. The NBA Health Trust brings you the coverage you want at a price you can trust. Find out more at mbahealthtrust.com. That's mbahealthtrust.com.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow and binge all episodes of Stolen Voices of Dole Valley. Available now, wherever you listen.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III! Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Hi, I'm Andy, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a product development manager, I make sure every piece of fine jewelry at Shane Company is meticulously designed for quality. From 14-karat gold chains, pearl necklaces, diamond studs, and of course, dream engagement rings. We know you can get your holiday gifts anywhere these days, but knowing your loved one's gift was crafted by master jewelers? It's a difference everyone can see and feel, no matter the price. All of our fine jewelry begins with a vision by our in-house designers. Then, we ensure each piece meets our high-quality standards every step of the way, including the smallest details. It's why our jewelry comes with our all-inclusive, free lifetime warranty that covers everything and doesn't cost a dime. At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend wants your fine jewelry to be nothing short of perfect. Come see for yourself. Visit us in-store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I like this text. Can you please do a weekly snap count review? It's monumental on who's really in the trust tree. No, it's true. It does. Unfortunately, through a typo, it says the tryst tree, which I also think is funny for its own. I don't want to know who's in the tryst tree.
That's a little dangerous right there.
I don't think anybody wants that information. All right. Josh Naylor deal is done, Brock. Here's 3 thoughts, 2 quick ones and a much longer conversation. One, I think the projection we were dealing with was $80 million over 4 years. I don't know if that was Bowden's projection or Passon's, but $80 million over 4 years was kind of what we had thought might be the market for Josh Naylor. It ends up being 92.5 over 5. So instead of $20 million a year for 4 years, he gets 18.5 for 5.
Yeah, Passon's was closer to 3 and like 58.
Is that what it was?
4 and 80, and yeah, it ends up being 5 for 92.
I think Jeff does. I love Jeff, and I think he tends to underestimate these a little bit in general. I feel like they tend to go a little over Jeff's projection of what he thinks guys are going to get. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm just like thinking of a couple of examples, but I didn't have a big problem with the deal. Like in terms of value, I feel like that's about right. They had to give up a little bit more, right? They had to do the extra year. But again, he's only 28 right now, so that's his age 33 season. I don't know. I can't get myself too worked up over having him for age 33.
Yeah, and I don't think that body, I think you kind of know the body. It's not like that body's going to age. Like, let's say, I don't know, Russell Wilson's from the combine where he is now, or right? I mean, it's just, it is what it is. Like, and I think he's very comfortable in that skin and can play the game at a really high level. Right? I mean, honestly, I think there is some. If you're 28 or what was it we were talking about? Even Soto, right? There was some concern there in New York with Soto over the next 10 years as he's gotten a little bit bigger. He still is unbelievable.
But 5 years? Like, this feels just
I mean, look at Salk's body, 28 to 33. Was there any difference?
No change. No change whatsoever. No change. If anything, it got better. How do you feel, second thing, about the no trade clause? It was the one thing in there that I didn't love, but totally understand. I'm not overly concerned about it. If things do go south for some reason, I would think it would be mutual, and then, you would have the opportunity to deal him because he would waive the no trade clause. It does give him some leverage. The only challenge I have, and this is so minor, I don't even want to spend more than a second on it, and that is the guy has been traded 4 times. I understand why he would want a no trade clause after that. Correct. Like, hey, I'm sitting here and I want to not go anywhere. I only hope, because he is a unique personality that we all seem to love right now, I hope that lasts and that there's not something where just after time you're like, geez, I can't do this anymore.
This guy's a lot.
Yeah, he's a lot. And I don't think that's the case based on the love that they had. But I'm not in there every day. I'll ask Shannon about it at 9:30. I think I know what she's going to say, which is no concerns about that whatsoever. But I do think that is just at least something to just hold in the very, very, very back recess of your mind.
Yes, and you knew after enduring what he had for 7 years and all the places that he bounced around to that he was going to want that on his end. I get to say that. All these teams have had their say, and they've moved me here and they've moved me there and moved my family everywhere.
Don't blame them at all.
Now, I get to say in that, and I can waive that if I want to, but it's in my hands to make that choice.
I mean, to be fair, he was traded once as a prospect. He was traded once because Cleveland didn't want to pay him. He was traded here because Arizona was uncompetitive. So
totally right.
I don't think it's a clubhouse
thing. I don't think so at all. I'm not. I'm trying not to insinuate anything other than those are the facts.
Don't bring it up, Salk!
All right. You know what? I swear to God, you can't win in life. You can't win. Let's move on because
wake up,
you can't win. So let's talk about everyone's favorite subject then. Let's talk about payroll because I know everybody loves to talk about that. If you don't want to talk about the things that I've mentioned, this puts their estimated payroll at around, based on adding in 18.5
$300 million.
Yeah, right where it should be. I don't know how much I don't know how this breaks down year by year, neither does SpotTrack, so it's not in there yet. But if assuming it was 18.5 per year and they just did it straight, the same salary every year, that would put their estimated payroll at about 156. Now, you don't know exactly what that number is. Now, it could be backloaded a little bit, so maybe this number drops a little bit. That number of 156 includes the estimated raises through arbitration that we don't know about yet for Randy and Logan and Kirby and all the other guys who are arbitration eligible this year. Randy leading the way in his final year of arbitration at $16 million is what they had. Those are all estimates. We don't know exactly what those numbers are going to be, but figure if they're high on some, low on the other, that 156 is a reasonable number. When you look at the chart of everybody on the list, the 3 names that jump out and the 3 numbers that jump out are Luis Castillo, who is the highest paid player on the team at $24+ million this year, last year of his deal. Randy, $16 million last year of his deal. And JP, $12 million last year of his deal. Those 3 numbers kind of jump out to me, right? You start looking at them, you add those together, that's $52 million combined in 3 players that I would guess none of whom are going to be back after this year. Just a guess. We don't know. Again, I don't know what they're going to do this year. But if you're just sort of thinking ahead, it would surprise me if any of those three guys were back for 2027. We can have conversations about 26. Do you agree with any of that, Lyle? Are there any of those three guys you would imagine them, getting excited to sign to another deal after this one ends? Maybe Randy if the year went exactly the right way, but that would surprise me.
Yeah,
too.
he'd be the only one. And honestly, with Luis, if he's going to be here this year, I think he's probably here in 27 too. Because if you're talking about the idea that he could be traded, that deal is going to be harder and harder to trade.
This is the last year of the deal, isn't it?
No, there's one more.
Oh, there's one more. I'm sorry.
And then there's a vesting option in 28 if he throws 180 in it.
I thought this one was it. All right, well, then never mind. Luis will be going to be here the year after, so maybe that's a different conversation. But, I think those are some real opportunities to kind of think and be creative.
It's a 30-year payroll. Those three guys are a 30-year payroll.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot, right? And you kind of need a little bit more product. It is so funny, and this is why I always end up kind of pushing back against some of the payroll conversation. Like, those aren't the three most productive guys. Like those three guys are not a third of your productivity. They're a third of your payroll, right? I mean, I bet you could find another third of your productivity that costs a whole lot less.
But they're the veteran guys you need, Salk. You point to, you don't want to rip the Band-Aid. And part of this Naylor deal is, you've got to have some guys that have been here and done it and had that experience. So, you're also paying for that experience. And what those guys beyond just the production, especially JP in the middle of it, and Luis, who's the rock. And Randy's, we've talked about left field for the last 20-something years for the Mariners. And Lyle made me an argument and convinced me with numbers that are overwhelming. That from a production standpoint, he's the best that you've had at that position.
And $16 million, while it's a lot, is not that much. I mean, again, that's a couple $1 million less than you're giving Naylor. That is not crazy money for what you got from Randy last year. And if you can have a better year from him this year, obviously you would take that and then some for $16 million.
By the way, if you want to look at teams around the league and their books, and even yourself as an example, this is the cleanest you've been, I would think, budget-wise. There's not a Mitch Haniger. There's not a Mitch Garver.
Right.
There's not, and most teams have that, right?
I think you would say Castillo at this point is probably the closest thing to that, but he's still a very productive pitcher.
Absolutely, some innings for
100%. Yeah, still a very productive pitcher. So, as you look at it, just to throw the raw numbers at it, because I know people like to kind of rant and rave about this stuff. Last year, they finished at $166 million in payroll. That was their final number after taking on Naylor and Suarez and some of the stuff at the deadline. They finished, and again, this is just according to SpotRack, they finished at $166 million. That was 15th in baseball, just the very end of the top half of the league. These are just raw numbers. I know people like to get mad and say the Mariners spend the least amount of money in baseball. That's not true. They spend the 15th most in baseball, and I guess then you would say the 16th least. $166 million last year.
Okay.
If you were to just sign Jorge Polanco, that would get you to about that number. Divish suggested $12 million a year for Polanco.
And you're at 156 right now.
You're at 156 now. If you sign Polanco for $10 million, you're at last year's payroll.
Right.
Before doing anything else.
Right.
That's it.
Yep.
So.
And Justin has said, by the way, and we got to listen to John and we got to listen to Justin because I think they're pretty straight up guys. Justin said at the GM meetings that we want to take care of our own, bringing back the guys. So if he's going to pay off those words, they've done it with Naylor. And then the next one in line you would think would be Polanco. I think Divish. Did Divish also say maybe?
Well, yeah, I was going to. So he said give.
Genio?
Yeah, let me play you this now. So the first one is he said Polanco. He said he would offer him the Mitch Garver deal, 2 years, 24. Ooh, I don't know, man. That and he said with an option or the player option for 3, like that would honestly make me a little nervous.
There was not a lot of a market.
I know.
Last year,
but he had a better year.
Years old, yeah, but it's still volatile. There were still peaks and valleys.
That's how I feel, but it is balanced off by how well he fits the roster. And then, here was Ryan's thoughts on what to do potentially with Gino Suarez.
I think they would offer Suarez a 1-year deal for, 8 to 10 million, maybe 10 to 12. And then, because there's no such thing as a bad 1-year deal, you can move on from it.
Okay, I agree with Ryan again. You can. And if Colt Emerson is ready to take over the mantle, it's not that much money, and you find out a way out of it. Fine, okay. But at that point, if you were to make those 2 moves with Polanco and Suarez, you're now $8 million above last year's payroll. Now, payroll did grow last year as well. It grew $17 million from 2024 to 2025. $17 million. If you could grow $17 million again, man, you would be in a pretty good spot. And that's without making any trades. That's without dealing Castillo, if you decide to go down that road, or dealing somebody else off your major league roster that is making some money. JP would be another conversation at $12 million. And that's when the Tarek Skubal thing, I think, gets interesting, Brock. Are you interested in going out there and trying to land a true ace? And I'm much more willing to have that conversation with you now that you know you've got Josh Naylor and you know you don't have to go spend the rest of the offseason desperately trying to fix a hole at first base.
Are you asking the bring him home guy?
I am.
Did you honestly ask me that question?
Yeah.
Of whether he's in play or not? I am
Let
curious.
me just quickly answer something before you say it, because I got a text, 206. Don't forget about arbitration raises, though. I'm including that. All those are the numbers, including the arbitration raises expected through Spot Rack.
What is the arbitration expectation for one Skubal? Is there any understanding of what a two-time Cy Young in the final year of his arbitration? 20? Is that over 20?
22?
I think the projection's about what Luis is going to get this year. Somewhere between $22 and $25 million. Luis is going to get 24. But
Okay,
yeah,
so
I mean, what do you expect?
into-
The best pitcher in the world is going to get a lot of money.
That's right. So add that to this conversation, and you can't do it all then. You can't bring Polanco and Suarez if, that's going to take another 22 to 25
Well, but if it
million
takes
at the
George
kitty.
Kirby to get him, and that's $6 million, that's going to come back off. I mean,
That's
again,
not going to happen.
it's
It's not Kirby for Skubal.
It probably isn't. I'm just trying to just have the conversation.
Yep.
No, you're right, Lyle. It's probably not that straight up or anything like that, and I don't think I would make that deal if I were the Mariners. But those are the types of conversations that I'm sure if you're Detroit, that's what you ask for. Yeah, cool. We'll give you Skubal, Kirby. Let's go straight up 1-1.
Well, Divish was talking about it in that interview, too, that I don't think it's going to cost as much as people think. I think it'll cost some prospects, maybe a couple good ones, but it's not going to cost.
They're going to want
big league
guys
talent.
that are very close to but maybe then you want to swing another deal in order to open up some. I'm just saying, if you do that, maybe then you need to do some other things in order to try to make it happen. At the very least, though, having Naylor aboard, doesn't it open up all of those other conversations so that you can now have them?
Foundational block that you had to lay down. I'm watching this house being built on our street, and they're pounding the pilings in, these huge concrete pilings. And you have to. These are the pilings. This is the foundation.
Got to do it.
This sets the table for everything else you want to do.
Very loud.
Very loud.
Very annoying on your own street.
Yes. Loud noises!
It's very loud on your own street. You really want them to
Stop
finish that up.
the pounding!
Yeah, please stop the pile driving if you could, because we'd like to move on to the next phase of this. And though I guess then they do the hammering, that's not much better. Yeah.
Yeah, stop the pounding.
Okay.
If you were going to move Skubal, or if you were going to get Skubal, I feel like Luis would be the odd man out just because of the money that would kind of offset. Now, I don't know if a team's going to take on all of his money if you trade him.
Half.
But, yeah, exactly. If those two are going to make similar money next year, it feels like that's where you go. And I'm not saying Castillo goes back in the deal, but maybe you'd reroute him elsewhere once January 1st hits.
Yeah, well, I mean, what if he ends up in, could be, or maybe a team like Boston or New York that is always looking for back-end pitching and is willing to pay probably a premium to get it. Yeah, I think those are all very real conversations that the Mariners should be having, and I'm sure that's a lot of what's going on right now in their war room as they're preparing for the winter meetings here in just a couple of weeks. So good stuff, fun conversation. This isn't going anywhere. We got a whole hot stove season just starting today. We got Shannon Drayer is going to join us at 9:30. Buster Olney will be with us 7:30 on Thursday. And right now, let's do some Blue 88.
This is Brock and Salk's Blue 88, powered by Xfinity.
We're going to go red, right, tight, close, sprint left, G, U corner, halfback, flat, on one. Ready?
Brock Heward tackles 3 football questions as only he can.
Blue 88.
Now here's your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
All right, Brock, Chris Shula has been a tough matchup for Darnold. What did he and the Rams do to make it challenging on him this weekend?
Well, they played, 14 snaps of dime on first and second down in this game against the Seahawks. Now, percentage-wise, Salk, that's not like an E-Man Worry kind of number. The Seahawks had 79 snaps in the game compared to the 51 of the Rams. But on early downs, and you heard Greg talk about this throughout the broadcast, They were not going to match the big personnel with big personnel and vacate zones and play single high and let the explosive plays happen. They were not going to do that. They're going to play their shell coverage. They're going to play smaller guys, and those smaller guys can run and hit, right? The bigs run and the littles hit, and the Rams have littles that will hit, just like Seattle has littles that will hit, and E-Man Worry and Spoon. So they had more personnel flexibility than really anybody we have seen the Seahawks play this season. And it's why it made the chess match so great. It's why Macdonald didn't duck that conversation after it. He didn't want to talk about it leading up to the game, but you felt it with us yesterday. Like, yeah, man, it brings out your very best. So what are you going to do? And what you have to do, and Greg said this rightfully so again throughout the broadcast, if they are going to do that, Salk, and you saw very few negative runs, but you saw very few explosive runs. That's the phase that's got to happen. If they've got dime on the field and you got 12 on the field and you're running for 2 or 3 yards, guess what they're doing on the other side? Out of the way, boys. Out of the way. Right? Make them get to more and more third downs.
Yep.
Like if you can hold that group to 2 and 3 yard runs and you're playing nickel and dime against your 12 or 13, out of the way, boys. They're going to get frustrated, right? It's going to take them out of their rhythm. They're not going to have the explosive plays they want. It doesn't set the table for as much play action success. And yeah, the Rams did it better than anybody had. Having said that, you still had nearly 400 yards of offense. Having said that, the ball still moved, right? It wasn't 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. You just made too many mistakes and obviously need more explosive runs in this game plan.
All right, question number 2. Well, Brock, your love-hate relationship, Pro Football Focus, what did they make of the Seahawks this weekend?
Well, I love that you brought up the snap counts because there is maybe a string that attaches these two. Who are the 2 highest graded? You quizzed me on snaps. Who are the 2 highest graded defenders for the Seahawks on Sunday, according to PFF?
Who were the 2 highest graded defenders?
Yep. And snap counts, and you read those off to me earlier.
How about DeMarcus Lawrence?
Nope.
And Kobe Bryant?
Nope. How about Derek Hall and Boye Mafe having some of their best games of the season? To your point about snap counts.
Yeah.
Snap counts. They didn't play 50% of the snaps, right? They played about 1/3 to 40% of the snaps. And guess what they did when they came in? They wreaked havoc.
Yep.
And the tank was full. And maybe that's something we can kind of watch over the course of the year as well. But those 2 guys, off the charts. Kobe graded great. Offensively, pretty obvious. It was JSN 1. It was K9 2, actually, which is why I think Mike Macdonald said he's earning more and more snaps. A.J. Barner was 3rd. The most encouraging sign is that Christian Haynes was the highest graded interior lineman. Higher than Gray, higher than Olu, much higher than Bradford. So right there with Cross and Lucas was Christian Haynes, something to keep an eye on here. We'll talk to Jeremiah about it. I was texting DJ last night about some other stuff, and I just said, hey, we'll probably get back into that Bradford conversation because there, once again, is a lot of bad film floating around the old Twitterverse of him falling on his face and just not moving the way he needed to move against that group up front.
All right, question number 3. With all the storylines, conversations, and there's a lot of Sam Darnold talk here, what did Mike make pretty clear yesterday, Brock, that they can fix pretty quickly?
Their end of game mechanics in this case. I thought end of half was beautiful. They did not give the Rams even 1 second on that sucker. And I don't think it was like we can rest on our laurels. We did this so well at the end of the first half. Listen to Mike kind of sneak this in. You brought up the punt and, you know, how unbelievable it was and amazing as it was. And he didn't want to give it too much credit. He wanted to speak more specifically about what they could control after that.
Yeah, it was tough, but, you know, you can't sit there and cry about it. You got to come up with a good play. And, you know, I thought we did a good job of getting off the goal line and into our 2-minute offense. I think we can execute a little bit better. You know, we should be able to execute that operation better, and we're going to learn from that.
Yeah. We can operate more efficiently. We can operate better than that. Because they did. They left themselves 0 margin. There was 6-7 seconds, and you heard Greg and Joe talking about that. Come on, guys. Come on, you're wasting too much time here. Let's go. You've got to get the call. And I'm sure they've got one-word calls. We call them natural disasters, Salk. We have 8 or 9 plays. And here's a little football 101 for you. And the whole group's got to learn it. So the QB doesn't have to go double right, two jet, and then signal. It's like, nope, typhoon, nope, rain, nope, wave, nope. And you call one word, and all the guys over the course of the season memorize it. So the O-line knows that's two jet. So the receivers know this is the route concept. And it saves you those seconds from signaling and calling and formationing and getting lined up. Like, nope, everybody knows. This one word call gets everybody lined up, sets the whole formation, play, everything. And you go. And those precious seconds matter. And maybe that was a matter in 3 or 4 or 5 yard difference between a 50-yard field goal that Mr. Myers hits and a 61 he doesn't hit.
That is today's Blue 88. Yeah, maybe we could find a way for Chris Shula to go replace Mike McDaniel at in South Florida. Maybe that would be a good fit.
I think the way that some of these defenses are playing this year, and a young, innovative guy, and I think the Rams have been poached over and over and over again on their staffs all around the league.
Shula coaching the Dolphins? It just feels right, man.
Kind of fits.
Just feels right. All right. I've seen this a ton before we dig into some sound here. This comes from somebody who says, "Hey, Brock, between Brady, Favre, Breeze, and Rodgers, only Rodgers has not thrown 4 interceptions in a game." Yeah, but they also have a pretty big resume of things they have done. Like, I appreciate you're trying to help out Sam Darnold here, and like throwing four picks isn't the end of the world. But you can't compare him to the 4 guys who have 4 of the best resumes. That's what, 8 Super Bowls between them? I mean, like, they also have records in this. Like,
I think that's what they're saying, though. They're the greatest to do it, and they still have these kind of days.
Understandable, but you can't. That sounds like, oh, he's fine. He just had one of the days that Tom Brady had too. Well, yeah,
Don't we have a whole bunch of sound we're going to play. Have a whole bunch of people.
We do. We're doing that at 9 o'clock. But I just that idea just drives me crazy. Well, really good players have had this happen too. Okay. But they also have won 8 Super Bowls between them. 5 of them, of course, courtesy of Tom Brady. All right, let's. Is it 5 or 6? 6 according to 6. Brady. 6.
7. 7.
7. Jesus. How many freaking Super Bowls did this guy win? 7 Super Bowls? That's insane.
Yes.
7?
6
That can't
in New
be
England,
right.
and 1 with your guy Brucey Bruce.
10 between those guys. 10 between those.
Just think,
4.
Bruce Arians could have been the greatest coach ever, like Belichick.
Who was it who just said the other day that Brady didn't even like Arians when he was there? Was that DJ? When he was on with us?
I think that was pretty clear towards the end.
I know, but it just cracked me up. All right, coming up next. All right, you know what? I'm going to shut up and let other people talk. It's next on Brock and Salk. Wee.
Disaster in L.A.
Sam, look out. Back across the middle. Ball is intercepted. Reading Sam Darnold's eyes.
Those were tight windows. Those were late. They were bad decisions.
How do Darnold and the Hawks bounce back?
I got to be better personally. He's a great quarterback. He's our quarterback. We love him.
We all know Sammy D's a baller.
Why did Sam Darnold not see some of those defenders?
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Boy, do we have a lot to talk about this week.
Seattle Sports on 710 and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family is banking on bandwidth. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Hi, I'm Emily, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, where a small box with a burgundy bow will help you win the holidays. As an in-house designer, I love creating meaningful, fine jewelry gifts. Choose a necklace with a gorgeous infinity charm to symbolize your everlasting love, Or go for a personalized piece with an engraving, their zodiac sign, favorite color gemstone, or their initial accented with pave diamonds. Because a friend wants you to be a holiday hero. Stop by or shop now at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
The insurance world, it can be confusing. So have First Mark Insurance guide you through it by taking the free First Mark Challenge. They'll explore offerings from top carriers for better coverage and lower rates. They save the Heward family thousands. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Get his freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
And Brooke, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
All right, Seahawks fall a couple spots in the ESPN Power Rankings, Brock. They went from 5th to 7th. That's probably not a huge surprise. 5th to 7th feels about right after a loss like that, where, they didn't get killed, but they did lose. And, Sam Darnold showed his warts, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that at 9 o'clock. Daniel Jeremiah, of course, joining us here in a half hour. But a lot of people at least took notice of what the Seahawks did, and we got a tremendous amount of sound about it, Brock. I wanted to play you a few things and get your reaction. Let me start here with our buddy Colin Cowherd, who is still, he did not lose faith in the Seahawks much at all based on what he saw.
So, you get into the octagon with the Seahawks, and they're just bringing massive athleticism. And they're going to make mistakes, and they're going to come at you 100 miles an hour. And again, if Stafford threw 4 picks, I'm like, the Rams would lose ugly. Seattle throws 4 on the road, gets the ball kicked down to the 1-inch line, and almost wins it. It's just, Seattle is just so much athleticism, and it's a wildly dynamic team to watch. The last team I'd want to play in the playoffs, honest to God, would be Seattle. They're just coming. You better be prepared for a fight.
Yeah, I'll co-sign all that. Right, and that was kind of my, beyond the headline of Sam, that was kind of my next little byline is just now for the 9th time in 10 games, quarterbacks don't like to play these guys. If this is a quarterback league, you know what you want to do to disrupt them? I don't like playing against these dudes. They're going to hit me. They're going to harass me. They're going to move me. I'm going to take a beating. Even, they didn't sack Stafford, but they certainly pressured him, and they certainly harassed him. And Leonard Williams certainly left a mark on his ribs on that shot that he gave him on that stunt. So, yeah, I would co-sign on that the Seahawks imposed their will physically. In a whole bunch of pretty unique ways defensively.
We spent some time yesterday talking through the Ernest Jones sound. If you haven't heard it, Ernest vociferously defending Sam Darnold, saying he's their quarterback and using a couple of well-placed words that start with F in order to accentuate his point. We talked to Mike Macdonald about it. I think Mike liked it as well, right? I think kind of appreciated just the way his team handled their business that way, right? Of backing each other up. I thought that was great. Here is Rex Ryan giving his thoughts on it.
That's how you do absolutely love that right there, D. Wood. Love it. Now, that's a hell of a locker room right there. That's when, if you're seeing Sam Darnold, you're like, man, like, I'm coming back in. Let's go. Like, I can't wait to get back on that dang field. Like, that to me, and because you know darn well, there's part of them had to be like, God, we were horrendous on offense, and Sam stunk. But you know what? That's not it. Public, no, hell no. Let's go. But Sam Darnold, this is the best thing that could ever happen to him. And it also shows me he's in the right place. Sure.
You play with a guy like that, Brock, like an Ernest Jones? Who would stand up and do that for somebody. Maybe it didn't need to be you, but just other people you can think of who would be just willing to go out and be like, not sort of half-heartedly defend, but like straight up be like, shut up, everybody. This is how we feel.
Yeah, I'd say Reggie Wayne was way up on that list. Marvin didn't really talk much. Edge didn't talk a whole lot. That defense didn't really, Dwight Freeney to a degree, the Hall of Famer. Those would be probably the guys in Indy. In Seattle, don't know. Hutch and Walt was not necessarily their personality, especially when I was with Hutch as a younger player. So I don't know if I had that kind of equivalent. But I'll tell you what it does, Salk, and why he goes about it in that way too, is think of the 31 other starting quarterbacks around the league. Think how many of them will pout. How many of them at times will whine. How many of them at times will have bad body language? How many of them at times will duck and not be available? How many of them at times don't have really a track record of overcoming adversity and being gritty and tough? And Sam's all those things. It was one thing we praised Gino, rightfully so, man. That dude's a tough dude. He takes a licking and keeps on ticking, and he doesn't put on a different size shoe to tell you what's hurting.
Except on the days where he didn't want to come in.
The guy practices. The guy plays.
He mostly does.
And I'm talking about Sam now.
I thought you were still talking about Gino. There were days where he just decided he didn't want to.
Yeah, that was kind of whiny.
Right.
That was kind of
whiny. Just as long as we remember those days.
No. And whining at the fans and whining and throwing a clipboard and doing all that.
There were days where Gino was like, I don't think I should play because I want to remind you guys of how good I am. Thanks.
But Sam checks every single freaking box. Yeah. There's not one thing. He never makes it about himself. He's really tough. He takes hits and he never complains. He's never slow to get up and, he doesn't whine when something is dropped or it's not right. He didn't point the finger at Arroyo. Like, there's a lot of quarterbacks that do. A lot of them that do. And you gain a ton of respect from your locker room and your teammates when you do none of that. And you own all the responsibility and all the failure, and you don't miss a beat. You don't miss a practice.
We've said many times Chris Long was sort of the first person on this bandwagon, along with Kyle Brandt. So curious, what did Chris Long think after the very public loss to the Rams?
You come away from this game and, like, you're going to turn on the TV tomorrow and you see people talking about Sam Darnold and how terrible he is. And, the burden is on him to prove people wrong in those big spots, and he didn't do it today. I will say this, though. if you're a Seahawks fan, your team's pretty good. Guy threw 4 picks. You have a chance to win that game at the end of the game against, in my opinion, the only quarterback of all the quarterbacks that we expected to be the best in the league this year to play like it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, only one to really shake him. What did you send, Maura? What was that in your email or via text last night of that graph that this was the worst output game of Stafford's career as a Ram?
Solak.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in his whole career as a Ram, this was the least amount of productivity and output that he gave him, and missed a bunch of throws and those horse shots that he doesn't normally miss. And there's a reason, because he felt these dudes. And you combine that with Colin's point of just outrageous length and athleticism.
Yep.
Yeah, your opponents are feeling it, and Cam Ward's going to feel it on Sunday.
All right, let me see. I just want to run through a little bit of what we're going to do today because we've got some fun stuff. In 20 minutes, we've got Daniel Jeremiah. At 9, I've got, how many cuts do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. I got like 5 or 6. Well, I got like 5 or 6 comments about Sam Darnold. I know, Soundhound doing her thing.
Just barking today.
I got 5 or 6 comments and opinions on Sam Darnold. We probably could have doubled or tripled this, but in the interest of time, I have 5 or 6. We'll see how many we can get to. And I think we want to try to figure out what's real and what's not. Like how serious are some of these, and how much do you just kind of brush off and say forget about it? That's just noise. So we'll do that.
Is January coming in studio, or is she?
No, she's gonna be on the phone with us at 9:30. We'll have a little Shannon conversation about where the Mariners are at. So that is what's on tap today, and then we'll finish it up with some Answer the Question Jerk at 9:45. We'll give you everything you need to know next, and there's a lot in there, by the way, including what sounds like some great news for Seahawks fans coming up on Brock and Salk.
Down on the field is Gray Zabel.
A big sigh of relief for the Seahawks.
Really fortunate. I guess we avoided a significant injury, which is really positive.
While Zabel recovers.
It could be day to day. It could be a week. It could be more than that.
Who steps up?
God bless Christian Haynes, man. He came in there. He's a tough sucker with heavy hands.
This is the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Imagine all that could happen in 5 years. Jobs may change, kids will grow, new memes will come out, but also, what if you had reliable, intelligent Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years? Well, thanks to the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you actually don't have to worry about that part of your future. You're guaranteed 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to your devices that need them the most, that finds and fixes any issues before you even notice them. It's like a super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from threats online. Plus, well, you get incredible gaming speeds on multiple devices with no one battling for bandwidth. And for the next 5 years, all your devices will be working in perfect harmony. And you get our best equipment with no annual contracts, no fees, and no strings. So even though kids will grow up and you still won't understand 6, 7, your internet will stay sharp, reliable, and most importantly, the price will stay put. All with the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Select plans only.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending
spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. The best place to watch all your favorite sports. Featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, 6 windows, and 30 kiosks. Be there at emeraldqueen.com. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
With football season comes colder weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here with Keith Dashafeet from locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. So Keith, what's your next big play?
Well, Steve, right now get 40% off qualifying installs or no payments and no interest for 12 months on approved credit.
Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
I wish G. Scott didn't come in here as often as he did during the breaks. Let's see. Raise your hand. G, raise your hand if you thought Gray Zabel was going to miss a lot more time than it now appears when he went down with that injury. Oh, G's got his hand way up. Way up. So did I. So did Brock. So did everybody. That looked bad when it happened. And then yesterday, Brock, all the news started coming out positive. First, Mike told us that he was very optimistic at about 9:45 as he was going through that imaging. And by the afternoon, things looked a whole lot better.
Yeah, so really fortunate. There's, I guess we avoided a significant injury, which is really positive. I'd say the words I heard were day to day. You know how that goes. It could be day to day. It could be a week. It could be, more than that. So, but nothing significant, which is a huge positive.
God, what a great break.
You ever hurt a knee? One of your knees?
I have never had a knee problem.
Maura or Lyle, either of you ever have a knee hyperextension?
No,
knee?
knock on wood.
Knock on wood? No. Lyle's not paying attention.
No, I'm gonna say I've never really had an injury. So
good.
Yeah.
Oh, never had an injury at all. Wow. It's fortunate for you. Me neither.
Not even knocking on wood. He's not superstitious.
No. Thankfully, I never did tear an ACL.
Lyle didn't know that knocking on wood was the thing.
Yeah. Never. What does that even mean?
Oh, what do you mean, knock on wood?
I'll look it up. But I did have a guy fall into my first start of my NFL career was against the Colts. And late in the game, we ran this little sprint out, pull up, and this guy kind of came into my knee. I was like, oh, that's not good. That's not good. And, was wondering, to sprain MCL, do something, got imaging. Nope, pretty good. Came out of it. We just had one of our guys get rolled up on the other day in the game. I'm like, oh, that's really not good. He's hobbling off and, was able to come back in. I think sometimes, the point being, sometimes you get rolled into like that. Sometimes you even hear a pop or oh, gosh, this is not going to be good. And then, all of a sudden, actually, I avoided major catastrophic injury. And sure thankful that Gray Zabel did. Because as painful as that loss would have been, Salk, if Gray Zabel was out for the remainder of the year, it would really dampen the thoughts and the projection.
It feels like that happens more often with ankles, where right in the moment it feels and looks awful, and then, I don't know, you kind of work it out. Actually, it's not as bad as it seems. I've had that. We've seen that on football fields, basketball courts.
Yep.
But I don't know. I feel like you don't see that as often, certainly, with the knee. So, really, really great news, obviously, that it looks like Gray Zabel should be good to go sooner rather than later. And same with Julian Love.
Yeah. What do you got, 2 more games? Or 1 more game? 1 more game? I think this is the last point. I think this is the last game.
Okay. And is that progressing behind the scenes well?
My expectation is he should be ready to roll on Wednesday. Okay.
Why does that make me laugh so hard?
He loves talking injuries.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. But I think that's great, right? That he could be back as early as next week.
Yeah, that would really be beneficial. And Ty Okada's done a nice job.
Yeah,
Ty Okada's a backup in this league, right? If you play 3 or 4 games, right, there's going to be some of those moments, some of those matchups, just size-wise, that he's going to get overwhelmed. But he is from day one to where he's at now. Way better.
I know. You're kind of impressed these days with Ty Okada after not starting off the season that way at all.
Yep.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
All right, Josh Naylor, $92.5 million over the next 5 years to be a Mariner, as Ryan Divish said yesterday to Bump and Stacy. They knew they needed to get this done.
All of this worked, and texting with some people in the Mariners front office about this when, the news started to break and getting confirmation and everything. Like one of the executives who talks really, really fast and is a big fan of Ohio State just said it had to get done. This is a guy that wanted to be here. This is a guy they wanted to be here. And when you have that in common, then you can't mess around. You get it done. You find a way to get it done, even if you go out of your comfort level.
You know any Mariners executives that talk fast and like Ohio State?
I do. Yeah. I do. Yes. Yes.
That might be the least subtle way of referring to Justin Hollander ever.
Was there one voice, even in the wilderness, that was like, they'll be okay without Naylor?
I would be surprised.
Was there one single voice that we talked to amongst anybody in all of baseball, Salk? Was there anybody?
I mean, how could there be, Brock, as you look through it, not only for what he meant for their team, but for what else was out there or not on the first base market. It was an ugly situation, and an ugly situation of lack of depth in their own system. So, yeah, I mean, all of the other options were significantly worse. Does that kind of surprise you, by the way?
Does it kind of surprise you a little bit?
Like of all the
positions that you don't have, like, when
a little bit.
Think of the supply chain.
A little bit.
What it takes to be a first baseman versus a center fielder or catcher or shortstop or anything else. Like
a little bit. Yeah.
We don't have anybody in our system.
Having a first baseman? What? Like, of all the things, how hard is it to get a first baseman? Yeah, no, I would agree. There is a
Where
little
have all
bit
the
of
good first basemen gone?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is there a song about that?
They're all probably more athletic these days and playing third base.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
All right, Mike Macdonald yesterday, some really good stuff. We've talked a little bit about his thoughts on Darnold. How about on the defensive line, Brock, where it just felt like one guy after another was coming in and laying the wood? You asked him if there was almost a bar of physicality that everyone has to beat and try to match.
I would say that that's the standard throughout our whole defense. Mm-hmm. And we're getting to the point where when we don't do it, it sticks out like a sore thumb. And it's like you got to eradicate it immediately. And I think the guys recognize, think about Tampa game. We started the game. We had a hard time. We weren't tackling great in the Tampa game. It took us a little while to kind of get really took the whole game. I mean, it wasn't a good tackling game overall. We started yesterday's game, and we missed several tackles to start. And but we regrouped. The guys kind of recalibrated, reloaded, and got back after it because they knew that we weren't hitting our mark. And then we made it right. So I think that shows us that we're growing.
You like that word eradicate, Brock?
Oh, do I like that word?
I thought you would.
I was in my Blue 88 questions last night, and I ran out of space. Like, oh, I got to do this one and that one. Hopefully, we'll get to it at some point. EII. EII. Eradicate it immediately.
Mm-hmm. You can't have it.
And you felt it, Salk. You texted in the first quarter like, uh-oh. This is the first opponent this year that we have felt kind of physically imposing their will.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, after that first quarter and a bunch of missed tackles, yeah, man, when there's that standard there, we eradicate this sucker, and we do it now.
I don't know what's going on in Vegas, Brock. Things are bad. Pete's Raiders blown out again last night, this time by the Cowboys at home.
They took a knee before the 2-minute warning.
Again. Gino once again.
That's tipped and picked. Intercepted by Marquise Bell. Off the hand of Kenneth Murray.
That's 13 picks on the year for Gino, and he wasn't even the biggest problem. I mean, the running game was awful.
They took knees before the 2-minute warning, Dallas, and then the Raiders took a knee to just end the sucker. Like, this does not look good for Pete.
Or for Gino, or for anybody else associated with this thing. Very, very ugly. Kraken will be in Detroit later today. Then they go to Chicago on Thursday. That's everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on.
I thought Tom Brady had all this inside info. I thought he was going to really help them. I thought, he's going to all these organizations, and he was just going to immediately snap his fingers as an owner. No?
Maybe not.
Doesn't happen that easily?
Yeah, maybe.
In the NFL?
Maybe not.
In the NFL?
Maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. 206 says, is first base the right guard of baseball? Maybe. Yeah, it's just really hard to find one.
Come on.
Really, really, really hard to find. Yeah. All right. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back with Daniel Jeremiah on video.
I told him something, by the way.
Oh, you did?
I'm not good at keeping secrets from you. Never have been. I texted him last night. I said, just be prepared for the Bucs conversation.
Oh,
just
yeah.
want to let you know. Just
we have to have it.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a nasty conversation. It's not mean-spirited. It's not angry.
Nope.
But I think you got to have it.
And then I did ask him about Haynes and in the middle of the O-line and, kind of what he saw.
All right, we're talking butts with Daniel Jeremiah next on Brock and Salk.
The Mariners start the offseason with a bang.
It might not be Christmas yet, but Mariners fans, Josh Naylor is going to be under the tree by this week.
Massive bat flip, Josh Naylor.
5-year deal rather than testing free agency.
The fan base has been awesome. It's like almost electric.
He's done it all. Great defense. Great at the plate. Insider reaction and analysis at SeattleSports.com.
He's got the snarl on the field, but he is a good teammate.
And the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Looks like we're finally going to get a couple of dry days, but don't worry, they'll still be cold and gray and sort of miserable. And this is the time of the year where those very real seasonal external factors can impact your mindset, your health, and yes, your weight, if you let it. That's why I turned to Eastside Weight Loss Clinic to help. They certainly helped me lose 35 pounds in a span of just 8 weeks. That could be you. You could do that here over the holidays, or even if it gets away from you a little bit now, make sure to have the number and the website and everything ready to go as soon as the holidays are over. You could be a whole new you, a healthier you, a happier you as well. You can lose 10 to 20% of your body weight, and you can do it without any expensive injections or any uncomfortable side effects, and keep it off long term so you don't have to do this over and over again. It starts with just a 15-minute phone call to get it started. Schedule yours right now by going to eastsideweightlossclinic.com, and when you're there, you'll see they're having their biggest sale of the year, more than $300 off normal pricing through the end of December. That's right. Go to eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, DC. Results may vary.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit Bucky's.com.
Black Friday Comfort Sale is on now at Home Comfort Alliance. Save up to 75% on furnaces, ACs, heat pumps, EV chargers, generators, and more. And take 18 months to pay with 0% financing. Call before December 1st. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow and binge all episodes of Stolen Voices of Dole Valley, available now wherever you listen.
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Going to let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
Does your building company have a strong website? One with a solid organic search presence, engaging prospects, and filling your pipeline? You know, a site that speaks loud about your company. I'm Rusty George. My local agency specializes in creating websites and marketing strategies for building companies, including construction, manufacturing, and material suppliers. We develop strategies and tactics to attract and win more quality business. See how we can help your business get louder at rustygeorge.com. That's rustygeorge.com.
Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hey, it's Dave Wyman, and before you make that decision, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Why? Because he gives it to you straight. Dr. Wagner said my right knee needs replacement, and I appreciate his honesty and expertise. My left knee is fine right now, but the minute it isn't, I'm heading to Dr. Wagner for his expert opinion. I want to avoid another surgery, and I've heard so many patients rave about results from their 90-minute outpatient stem cell procedure with Dr. Wagner. He's a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience and has performed more than 20,000 stem cell procedures using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy without pain and without surgery. Whether it's a shoulder, hip, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
It's game time, and Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are lining up with a roster that's built to dominate the field. The gas-powered RAV4, built to power through every drive, rain or shine. Or switch up the play with the hybrid RAV4, versatile, efficient, and always moving the chains. The Tacoma, tough, dependable, and clutch when it counts. And now, taking the field, the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra, redesigned, powerful, and built for the big moments. Whether you're in the north or the south, Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton have your winning ride. Visit toyotaofkirkland.com and toyotaofrenton.com.
O'Brien.
This hour is brought to you by Trajan Wealth Management.
He's Daniel Jeremiah.
I think he's really, really good.
And he's with Brock and Salk every week during the NFL season.
He could win an MVP.
Daniel's really smart. Daniel's probably the best in the business.
It's time for the Daniel Jeremiah Show, presented by Marquee Data.
Sure is. Daniel Jeremiah, not just here, but on video, of course, as well, if you're watching on YouTube or finding us later that way or through the Seattle Sports app. Good morning, DJ. How are we?
I'm doing great, man. Congrats on Josh Naylor.
Oh, how about that? I mean, that's really good news around here.
Yes.
I'm not going to lie.
How fun is it when you guys kick off the off season? Like, you don't even have to grind it out through Christmas.
So we are.
You guys
We're
already
winners.
got a present.
That's what we do. We win.
I'll tell you.
You know what else is great? I thought you were going to say congratulations, Salk. You've hit double digits. Salk's hit double digits, DJ. Do you realize that?
Consecutive shows?
Yep. Double digits. He's not missed the Daniel Jeremiah show.
No.
We'll see.
Not going to be here next Wednesday if we're doing one. I'll tell you that much. Not going to be here the day before Thanksgiving.
We'll see how long that's going to last.
That's going to end
so far this year.
That's going to end next week.
You want to give him a shot?
No, Tuesday. Yeah, still not hearing me here on Tuesday either. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Yeah, I'm out next week.
I mean, so do you go around the studio like Cal Ripken, just high five everybody all the way around the studio, like just to kind of
it, man,
celebrate that?
Yeah. No, you know what I do? I take those days that are in my contract and I use them to be on vacation with my family. Yeah, that's part of the old comp package there, DJ. All right, well let's get into this. Unfortunately, the good news about the Naylor signing is that it came like an hour or two after the Seahawks lost to the Rams. So we were able to be like, well, we only have to talk about that for half the show because we also got Naylor to talk about. What did you take away from that? I don't honestly, I'm sort of joking. I did not panic after that loss. I don't think it was the end of the world. I still think there's a lot of positive, and it doesn't really deter me on my thoughts about where the Seahawks could go this year. But what did you make of it?
I mean, call me a crazy optimist, but I thought they were clearly the better team in the game. I mean, they dominated the game in just about every way you can dominate, except they had turnovers, and they had a chance to win the game at the end of the game. Like all that stuff happened. Usually you get 4 interceptions. You have no shot in a game, but yet there they were. We can do the Sam stuff. We can go a lot of different areas you want to go, but I mean, I left that game thinking 2 things. Number one, based off the end of the game, Sam Darnold, even after that performance was not broken, that he still had it in him to get him down the field. And number 2 was, I mean, look, if that's as bad as you turn the ball over and all those things, you still have a chance to win that football game. Like they're going to be just fine.
How you don't really get to watch TV copy, right? I mean, this is all
no.
I
just watched the tape. Yeah,
that's the beauty of chatting with you each and every week. There's not any bias to what you hear, what you see, or what the optics of a TV camera can give you. You're just straight looking at the all 22, correct?
Correct.
So obviously that still flashes the score, right? Because time, score, it gives you some of those things. But you're saying if you just watch the 79 snaps offensively of the Seahawks and the 51 of the Rams, in your opinion, physically, it was pretty clear who the better team was?
I thought so. I mean, I thought they were able to hold up the line of scrimmage on both sides. For the negative Sam stuff and their big ones, the interceptions, he made more big time throws in that game than Stafford did. I was going through it and I was kind of thinking, Brock, like it was some of it almost you wonder if they could have protected him from himself a little bit with that game. In other words, like if you think about swimming in the ocean when you're a kid and, they might have, maybe there's a shark warning or something, or maybe there's like buoys where you say, hey, the tide's too strong here. Let's stay out of this area of the water, swim over here, but not here. Like the Rams, clearly they wanted to funnel things to the middle of the field, and they had robber player in there that was free and loose that could just read Sam. And they got him a couple times. Everything they did at the perimeter, whether it was underneath where you could watch JSN break tackles, whether it was down the field, you get the amazing one-handed catch as well as a bunch of other completions, like big-time drive throws, but out of harm's way on the perimeter. That to me should have been a little bit more of the focus in that and kind of save him from himself and some of the danger that lurked in the middle of the field.
That being said, I mean, 3 of those 4 picks were late? Back foot,
so I can give them to you.
Pass.
I'll give them to you. Back foot floater on the first one, which, that's a mechanical thing. You can't do that. The second one, I didn't put on him because you have 3-on-2 in pass pro. They run a game. 75 does not pick it up. So you've got the back and you've got the guard and the tackle for 2 rushers. They just run a simple twist. They get a clean run through, hits Sam in the chest as the ball comes out. He doesn't get anything on the throw because he's getting hit. And there's no part of him that would have thought you're going to get a clean run through when you've got 3 blockers for 2 rushers over there. So that one's the forgiving one. Then the next one, you get him just locking on. He just doesn't come off of it. He locks on and takes him right to the football. And then the final one, which was probably the most, it's a 3rd and 3, but the most egregious to me is that's why I just wrote it's a hero interception. He's trying to dodge 3 guys and then trying to make some incredible jump throw. That was just him doing way too much. So I always say that all interceptions kind of have their own story, but I think he definitely has to own 3 of those.
What's interesting in that, DJ, is the same hero complex there is the same hero complex that allows him to flush those and put together the final 2 drives, right?
No, I mean, you don't average what he's averaging per attempt. You don't do that by playing, scared in those things. I just think and there's certain games against this team, the way and feeling out the game, kind of how your defense was playing, you're controlling Matthew Stafford, you're controlling the clock, all those things. I just thought in this game, maybe it didn't call for that same aggression, and we could have just lived a little bit more outside the numbers.
So let me say this again, without crushing Sam for the game, I agree with everything you just said, and I think the fact that they did come back at the end and the second to last drive was great. And honestly, if it's not for what might be the best punt I've ever seen in my life, credit to that guy. It was unbelievable. In the situation, that might be the most clutch, great punt I've ever seen, putting it at like the 1 foot line. If they get the ball at the 20, I think they win.
Yeah, they win the game.
I feel like they probably win that game at that point. So I'm not killing Sam. But don't think that it's fair to kind of go back to saying there are still some buts, some question marks about whether or not Sam is truly one of the guys who can be among the elite quarterbacks in the game.
I mean, I guess that's fair. I mean, he's got to do it in the bigger stages. I'd much rather kind of learn this lesson for him in this game than to learn it in like he learned it last year, at the very end of the season. So, yeah, I mean, look, you can't have games like that in big games. But, I mean, I'm coming off – it's hard for me to say that when I'm coming off of a trip that I just took to Jacksonville and watch the Chargers lose 35-6. Like, you're not gonna have it every single week as an individual or collectively as a team. So
I think the fear with Sam isn't the consistency of it. It's the question. It's not even a fear. It's just a question because it hasn't been answered yet. Not can he do it consistently, but can he do it against the best in the biggest moments? I think that's the one question that I think we used.
Tampa's pretty good, right?
Yeah, they didn't win.
He played great. What do you have? 4 touchdowns through for a zillion yards
until the final drive.
Well, until he got smacked at the end.
Until the final drive,
he played winning. I thought he played winning football in that Tampa game. And I'm just trying to think of off the top of my head the good teams that they've played.
Well, San Francisco has actually been pretty good. They lost that one, and unfortunately, in the first game of the season. Pittsburgh's been pretty good, and they beat them, which was great. Sam played tremendously in that game. Washington was better when they played him, but still not very good. Arizona stinks. New Orleans stinks. So, I mean, he's played a mixture of teams. Again, this isn't a shot. It's hard to ask this question without it sounding like I'm sitting here saying, I don't think Sam Darnold is good. He's been awesome, and I'm really excited about him, and I like what he's done. I'm not quite ready to crown here on week 10 because I just want to see more and more against the really good teams. I want to see what happens against Indy. I want to see what happens against the Rams in game 2 on Thursday Night Football in front of the country. I want to see those things before making a final determination on what I think this guy is.
Can we find common ground though? Can we say he's he's firmly in the top 8 to 12 quarterback range? Can we agree that he's at least in that neighborhood?
100%. To me, that's not even up for debate right now based on how he's played, not just this year, but the last 2.
That's where I'm kind of at. It's okay, I will. My thing is people saying he's not, it's almost like he's not any good, and is he a quality starter? We've crossed that bridge a long time ago. That was when I was saying the no buts. Now, if you want to talk about getting into the Josh Allen, Mahomes, into that neighborhood, start where those elite guys are. Yeah, he's not there.
Or even just behind those guys, right? Okay, I don't need him to be Josh Allen. I don't think he's got the physical, the full skill set to be Josh Allen. Nobody does other than maybe Lamar, right? I mean, those guys have freak show abilities. But to be right after that, to be a guy that's going to win playoff games, that's going to take this team to an NFC championship or a Super Bowl, I think the jury's still out on that, and I think you're right. He's a good quarterback. I know he's in the top 3rd. I want to find out if he can be in the top 5 or 6.
And I think another good win, by the way. I think another good win was the win in Jacksonville. I mean, the Chargers went down there, they're a good team, and just got absolutely mollywopped. And, Sam and the crew went down there and took that game from them. I'm curious, DJ, do you have a favorite axiom for a quarterback? Was there something a coach through the years, a GM, that said to you, in particular, when it comes to walking that line of pulling the trigger, of walking that line between being aggressive and checking it down, just that line that you got to navigate, that if you're not Josh Allen or Lamar and you're basically everybody else, that decision-making process, was there something that stuck with you through the years?
Yeah, there's two things. I mean, and they're ones you've heard a million times. I mean, obviously there's the can't go broke taking a profit. Like, there's nothing wrong with being a completion collector and just take what's there. And then the other one, which I thought was very descriptive way of playing the quarterback position, is the great quarterbacks are selectively aggressive. So, you can't live like that down in and down out, but when you've got calls and coverages that marry up, like we're going to selectively be aggressive and take our shots. And there's a line there. And I thought in that game that we've been discussing, I thought that he went over that a little bit, where it was it's too much. Try and just do a little bit too much. When you get your shots, take them, but you can't take those shots when they're not there.
That's really good. And that totally pairs with what Coach Macdonald talked about with us yesterday defensively, in that line that he walks in the same vein of calling those defenses that sometimes I got to fold. Sometimes the game situation, I want to be aggressive or I want to blitz or I want to do this, but I'm going to fold until the cards are in my favor and I get a chance then to be aggressive. Tom Moore used to say to me, and Salk is probably tired of me saying this, DJ, but I thought it was so good. And for 20-something years, it's resonated. And in my broadcasts, I'd say it all the time. Play smart, not scared. Play smart, not scared. And he would just, yell that at you, even to Peyton, but in particular, all of his backups through the years. Play smart, not scared, because you can't play, and this from your days of playing, DJ, and the voices on one shoulder and the other, right? And you can't ever play the position not scared to make a mistake. Can't do it. But then you got to play smart. And I thought that was where the line on Sunday for Sam got a little bit wonky.
Yeah, so that's the difference between you and me. And my college coach was like, "Hey, Jeremiah, you can always check it down to the back. Let's not kid ourselves. You don't have enough arm to get that thing out there."
Pretty good.
How many in your life experience, DJ, how many defensive-centric head coaches, and I don't know if that guy was a defensive-centric head coach, how many of your defensive-centric head coaches really understood the quarterback position?
I never had one. So, I mean, going back I went to two different colleges and in high school, I mean, that's it. That's three coaches, and they were all offensive guys. So we were always, different offenses, but was still more of an attack and aggressive mindset. Whereas, I've I've time in the NFL and been around different coaches that way. And then like Romeo Crennel was head coach when I was in Cleveland working there. And it was very much hey, don't make a mistake. Don't turn it over. Like it's kind of just a little bit, you get a little bit hamstrung, playing the quarterback position that way. Cause it's just for whatever you do, don't lose us the game. Instead of, hey, go win us the game. It's, hey, just don't lose it. Don't lose the game for us.
There is an element of that with this team though, right now, just based on how good this defense is. How good is this defense?
They played great, man. There was only a couple things I would say that it was the first kind of rookie game I thought for Eamon in that I thought they attacked his eyes a little bit, where he was a little bit late to trigger on some things just because they gave him some other things to look at in terms of, some motions and different things that way. I thought that there's a couple plays where he was a little bit lost.
Do you think some of that could be because he played more? He played the third most snaps of anybody on the defense after Ernest Jones and Kobe Bryant. Do you think some of that is just maybe an initial exposure to playing as much as he did?
I think it's more so a compliment to McVay and how everything can look the same, and you give you a little bit of guesswork there, whether it's run or pass. He's really, really good at designing all that stuff. And I thought there were some times where he was just kind of a little bit guessing and not playing quite as sure. He's been really good, up until this point of just pulling the trigger, just trust it, go. And I thought they created a little bit of hesitancy in him in this game.
How about the rest? How about up front though?
It was awesome. Across the board, all those guys were making plays. Everybody on the front, when you go through it, it's not just one guy. It's 0, it's 7, it's 53, it's 99's getting doubled and they can't move him. It's a really, really complete effort. They had a couple missed tackles. You get the missed tackle, 39 out in space, you miss tackle, and they score a touchdown. And I thought the Rams actually did a pretty good job of getting up to Ernest Jones. They got clean up to him a couple times, and they were able to get a few runs because of that. But then I thought Macdonald is such a good coach that they just a little subtle adjustment. I was curious about it because they had some angles to him. So then they just started lining him up near the line of scrimmage. And then you eliminate the angles. And if they want to throw, he could, he was backing out at times, but he kind of changed the way they could attack him because they were able to get up to him a little bit.
Felt like from a football intellectual horsepower, this might have been as good a matchup as you're going to see. McVay and Macdonald.
Oh yeah. Are you kidding me? Yeah, it was great. And, they have some, big time players over there. So they're going to make a couple plays, which they did. But I mean, you go down, one of the first things I looked at before I went to the whole game, I was like, let me look at the box score and see what the story of the game is. So the two stories of the game based off of the numbers would lead you to believe, okay, let's watch let's watch the interceptions. Let's go through that. And the next thing was the red zone efficiency for the Rams versus the struggles for the Seahawks. So those are the first two things that I watched. And even though the Rams were successful in the red zone, I mean, they made them grind it out. I mean, they're inside the 5 and just, it was everything for them to get into the end zone 3-4 downs later. So I thought the fight was tremendous from Seattle there. And then even on the Seattle offensive side of things, the red zone, were there blunders? Well, on one of them, there's nothing there, and Sam actually made a smart play, threw the ball away, save you some points. On another one, they have a penalty, so they're off schedule, and then not trying to do too much, make sure you get points out of it. So even their red zone numbers, which didn't look good on paper, wasn't quite as bad when I watched the tape.
We interview Mike Macdonald every Monday. It is. You were talking about interviewing Jim Harbaugh and what that's like, and there's an element like you got to really plan for it and how you're going to ask every question and what direction you want to go with it. Brock asked one of the best questions of the year yesterday. Mike told him so, and then I thought gave a fascinating answer regarding. Brock, I could probably just let you set it up regarding defensive philosophy and what you're trying to accomplish on defense.
Yeah, there's some that just run their scheme, and it can be successful. I mean, the Miami Dolphins in the heyday when we were with the Colts, they just lined up in, 4 down, and Zach Thomas was in the middle, and they played trap, and they just did what they did, right? Or Seahawks in their heyday, all right, post safety and played 3 and mixed and matched a little bit. And then there's other schemes like Gary Patterson that want to defeat every single play. His job, while he was eating his pants and losing his voice and sweating like a demon on the sidelines, was I'm going to defeat every play call you've got.
So Brock asked Mike about it. This was the answer.
That's a great question. I think it's a spectrum, and I think you can be successful on wherever you fall on the spectrum. So I've worked for guys that are fully on that side of it, and we had every answer in the book. And some games the offense didn't move the ball. Some games it was not pretty, And our execution, I think, was a little bit lower than it should have been. And played for some guys or worked for some people that are probably on the other end that kind of we do what we do and we call it given the situation and let's just go outplay them. We're here. We're definitely somewhere in the middle. I think it's just based on the situation and what they're telling you and what you need.
It's really interesting. I would ask, can you live in the middle? But obviously you can because they're having a lot of success doing that.
I think that's it is a great question. It's a great conversation. I remember having discussions like this when I was in Baltimore amongst our personnel guys I thought there were times where we had gotten a little too cute. Like we were trying to do too much. And it was like, guys, we've got not only, good players, starters, Pro Bowl. We got Hall of Famers over here. Like we can just line up and play it. We don't need to trick anybody. And we just say like, this is not like we're one of the service academies, playing against the top 5 team in the country. And we've got to kind of, trick them here with what we're doing. We can line up and play it. And then I also think that, hey, sometimes where your roster on the low end, you've got to be a little bit more creative and changing things up and trying to have the perfect coverage for every single play because you're not going to have the guys to lock it down. But I tend to lean a little bit more towards the, what you're going to get, maybe a little more simple. I had a coach that told me once upon a time, you tell me a team with no tendencies and I'll tell you a team that stinks. Like you better be able to do things well, even if we know you're doing it and you can execute it. So it's a great conversation.
Yeah, it was fun. How did the middle of the offensive line look? That was one of the areas that you were concerned going into the matchup with all of their movement and Fisk and they're athletic and their front's really good too in LA. How did Bradford and Olu and then ultimately Haynes comes in for Zabel? How did you feel like that middle of the offensive line handled the Rams?
I just think they're, to me, it's the 2 guys. It's 75 and 55. Like if you can keep them on one track, if they're moving forward, down blocks, keep them on a string. They're okay. The problem is when you ask those guys to cut off, when they've got to try and be a little more athletic and reach and cut off guys on the backside, that's not going to be something that they're going to be able to do. And that showed up. And then when you're getting up to the second level, if you've got to adjust in space, that's not something that they're going to be very comfortable with. So, I thought 67 played really well. 72 was on the ground a little bit. I didn't think it was his best game. But it wasn't like this is just, egregious. I know, Brock, you were texting me about Oots. I went through and watched him specifically. He only played 19 snaps in that game. And he just got ragdolled at the point on one that was really bad. And I think that's, that's one of those things where that can kind of stick out in your head. And I thought, okay, maybe there's 2 or 3 plays he'd like to have back out of 19, but I didn't think he was a major issue there.
Okay, good. Good. I love the numbers, don't you, Salk?
I do. Yeah, because then you have to kind of think through who DJ's talking about because you don't know any of the names of the
easier.
guys.
It's just kind of how I go through when I take my notes.
Football guys
We're
don't
not
know
expecting
names.
you to know every name.
No, you're a real
DJ,
football guy. Football guys are like, oh, yeah, no, you look at 55, they do this, 87 does that. Yeah. You're going to come here, you look at the 3 tech, go over here to the 7 tech.
I know Ola Timmy, I know Bradford, but it's just when I'm reading off my notes,
that's fine. You just talk. You say 5 tech. It's fine. Like we embrace all that fancy schmancy talk around here. All right, DJ, thank you. A great talk as always. I'll miss you next week. I'm sorry, but
you're not going to ask him about trading for Tatis?
Oh yeah, is he available? Can we trade for Tatis?
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. There's no chance.
Sure,
they sell out every game, and he's why everybody comes to watch that guy.
They're about to sell the team.
So why would you sell your most valuable asset?
Because he's expensive. Because they can't afford what they're paying.
$24 million a year.
They can't afford it.
The guy's one of the 5 to 6 best players in baseball. He's making as much money as your 300-pound first baseman you just signed. Come on.
Hey, that's a 300-pound first baseman. I think stole more bags than Mr. Tatis did this year.
He stole over 30. He stole like 32.
Well, this guy stole 30.
Thank you,
19
DJ.
in the last 2 months. Bye, DJ.
Take it back. You and me next week,
There
DJ.
you go. All right. Daniel Jeremiah, we'll be right back, Brock. That's some good Sam Darnold conversation. We've got more because while I was trying really hard to ask questions without being a hot take guy, there were a lot of takes out there about Sam Darnold this week. How many were accurate? How many were overblown? It's next on Brock and Salk.
Wyman and Bob.
To me, the biggest thing about this Naylor deal
every afternoon at 2
is not that they signed him, not that he makes sense, that he fits perfectly. All of that is true. What it represents to me is a shift in philosophy with ownership, with the front office. It's the biggest free agent deal since Jerry DiPoto's been in charge. And to me, this represents a huge change in philosophy that I hope continues while they address other positions.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
I had a young woman who was on a new SUV, and she had attachments to her old car because it was her first car, and she had questions because she was doubling her spending budget, and she was very fiscally responsible. It was almost making her sick. And the best path at that point was to let's stop for the night, and you go home and take a breath. She came back in the morning and bought the car. She was way happier. These are major life accomplishments. You have the ability to afford at this tier. You've secured one of the major needs in your life. You should be feeling a tremendous amount of pride and respect for your accomplishments. I'm just grateful that we get to celebrate it with them, that we get to be part of it in that aspect of it.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
As a quarterback, you cannot run a winning play with a messy playbook. And most companies' data, well, it's a mess. AI is changing the game, but if your data is scattered, you're stuck on the sidelines. Brock Heward here, and this is where my friends at Marquee Data come in. They get your data in shape, clean, connected, ready to perform, so you can finally put AI to work for your business. Whether sales, finance, or operations, every smart move starts with the right data. So head to mydataqb.com to draw up your game-winning data play today. That's Marquee Data or mydataqb.com.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in Seattle. And our more than 95 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation. All rights reserved.
Need a break from everything? Escape to a place where anything is possible and the fun never stops. At Silver Reef Casino Resort, you'll discover world-class dining, championship caliber golf, a full sports book and bar, over 1,000 top-rated slots and table games, and so much more. Come join the fun and see why we've been consistently rated one of the region's top destinations. Visit silverreefcasino.com to book your stay and discover all the exciting events and promotions we have in store for you. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5, exit 260.
Carpoolers using the SR 167 express toll lanes now need a flex pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Having good to go always costs less than pay by mail. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Coach Saban here. On the field or on your walls, coverage matters. That's why I go with Behr Marquee Interior Paint and Primer from the Home Depot.
Exceptional hide, advanced stain blocking, and over 1,000 colors to choose from. Behr Marquee delivers one-coat coverage that stands up to real life. One-coat coverage, no overtime. Behr Marquee, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Valid only when tinted to colors from the Behr Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Collection.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Get his freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Matt Marcus. Sorry about just Mike
Heward. Not exactly Joe Cap there in the pocket. Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Accurate or overblown, Brock? Accurate or overblown? A lot of reaction to Sam Darnold in the 4-pick day. And it's worth mentioning, and DJ got it right. 4 picks and then a great drive and nearly a second at the end of that game. Those things are relevant. And then there's also the fact that he's 1-3 in the big final drives, 1 minute, 2 minute situation so far this year to try to come back and win games. So let's, I thought I would play you some of the sound that our great sound Saluki, Mora, has put together. And you can decide whether this is accurate.
What do you think the Saluki barks like, by the way?
They don't bark much. That's part of the thing about the
they
Saluki.
don't?
Yeah.
They're
they're
really
they're quiet, elegant animals. No, they just don't say a lot. They're quiet, elegant animals, just like Mora. All right, Brock. Accurate or overblown Marcus Spears on NFL Live?
Look, the interior pressure was the obvious thing last night, MK, and you are absolutely right. It was just the panic nature. I don't – look, man, quarterbacks have bad games, and they have some games where you want to forget about them. The problem with Sam in this particular situation, when we leave this game, not only the fact that it's reminiscent of what we saw last year, it's the panic that you see from him in these situations. And I think a lot of people forget Sam Darnold is an athletic quarterback. Like, I think at times he needs to use his athleticism to get himself out of some of these situations, even if it's just a throwaway.
I would say mostly accurate. I'd say like B+ accuracy.
He panicked.
Reminiscent of last year. Like last year, he was 14-3. I mean, last year is 35 touchdowns. Like, yeah, I mean, it makes that sound like reminiscent of last year when he was in Carolina or with the Jets or whatever. Like, no, reminiscent of last year. Last year, he was pretty remarkable, save for a game or two. So that's where the accuracy is a little bit lost, but everything else, hard time nitpicking much of that.
All right. How about Aqib Talib, Brock, who I kind of missed doing broadcast. Aqib's nuts, but in such a good way, I think most of the time, at least when he's part of the media.
Imagine him paired with Skip Bayless, which was what this podcast was.
And so that's why you will hear him referring to him as Same Darnold here. That's a little Skip Bayless wackiness. It's sort of like Harbarf. He calls him Same Darnold, which is super wacky and witty. That's my least favorite type of humor. But here is Aqib Talib.
Stafford just know how to. He does. He just know how to lean on my defense, not make mistakes, make my plays when I got to make them. When you got good defenses like both of these teams has, you got to play to the formula, man. You can't be Superman every week. That's why the Bills never win a Super Bowl, because he got to be Superman every week. He can't lean on the defense. You know what I'm saying? Stafford, he could lean on his defense, not make the mistakes. He ain't make the mistake. Puka fumbled. It's not on him. The Seahawks, every mistake they made was on Sam Darnold. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I sat here and said it, man. That's why I ride with the Rams. That's going to be the difference in the game. And that's exactly what happened.
All right, Moore, you got to warn us a little bit if Aqib is just randomly dropping curse words right in the middle of things. I had no idea that was going to be in there. I wasn't prepared for that. Thank you.
As long as it was censored.
No, I know, but I got to steel myself. I've got to be ready for that type of thing.
I'm sorry. I thought maybe
I should
knew
have
that Aqib Talib might drop a curse word.
I should also take some of the responsibility there. Brock, is that fair? Does Sam need to try to?
Well, it's funny, right?
Play to his defense.
That's a third now that plays into the whole know when to hold him and know when to fold him. Know when to be selectively aggressive. Know when to play the hand or not play the hand. Yeah, I mean, I think that too is fair for that game, the outcome of that.
Right, so
the
accurate.
decision making and the Superman, the hero complex, a little bit that DJ said. Yeah,
Accurate.
I think that's fairly accurate as well.
All right, then let's go to Chris Canty this morning on Unsportsmanlike. This, I think, relates back. I think I'm going to say accurate. This relates back to what you heard from DJ even just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, I don't know how you could argue this in the affirmative.
The question is, let me set it up better. The question is, can Sam Darnold step up in a big game?
Yeah, I don't know how you could argue this in the affirmative. All I can say is that Sam Darnold is in need of an Aaron Judge-like postseason. He's putting together an MVP caliber regular season up until Sunday against the LA Rams in Week 11. But, yeah, Sam Darnold needs to exercise those playoff demons, and the only way that he's going to be able to do that is to get into playoff football and play really, really well.
I'm going to answer for you and just say accurate, because I really feel like that's what a lot of what I was trying to say. It's not that Sam Darnold's bad. It's not that I don't believe in him. It's that I got to see it first. I got to see it with my own eyes. I have to see it rather than take it on faith.
He was 14-3 and then got sacked 9 times in a playoff game, and people had him in the mid-20s as far as quarterback rankings.
And that wasn't right.
A season ago.
Right, that was unfair.
So if he goes 13-4, beat the Rams the second time around, win these next 3 games, right? You go 13-4, and we'll see. You match up with the Rams. You got to win that playoff game to be a top 10 quarterback.
It's not. Well, I don't know whether it's that you have to win it. You can't be the reason your team loses it. I think that's really the challenge that people have. Is like you look at the last 2 Rams games, and I think you just point at him.
Yeah.
He wasn't good enough in those 2 games. Heck, I mean, that's essentially what DJ just said. He just said the Seahawks were the better team, just that Darnold threw 4 picks in the game. I mean, that's kind of pointing a finger and saying they were better except for him.
Yeah, this was more egregious to me than the playoff loss.
I think you're right. I mean,
there was a lot of NCs last year. Like, there's no chance, 9 sacks. Like, it's just this was, in that regard, in that vein, probably, more egregious.
But don't you
think
I'm
also going to push back just a little bit in thinking about this season.
Okay.
I'm also going to push back and say they haven't beaten anybody good. I mean, they went to Pittsburgh in week number 2, and that is a good win against first-place team. They went to Jacksonville when Jacksonville was 4-1. right? They're 4-1 and just come off of a big win, and they went down there and they beat them. They played Washington when we talked to Bram Weinstein. Like, that was their season. Like, Jaden Daniels was full speed. He was raring and ready to go. Like, you've got to beat them, and they did that. In Tampa Bay, as DJ said, like, come on now. He had one of the highest QB ratings, and I'm sorry, a ball bounces off a helmet when he gets hit late. I'm sorry. I mean, they have played some good teams, some good opponents.
Yeah,
and this
Brock,
was the first
I'm
real
mostly
clunker.
with you. I'm with you on Pittsburgh. I'm with you on Jacksonville. I don't think it should be a narrative that he can't beat good teams. I don't think that's a narrative at all. I'm going to disagree with you a little bit on Washington. They were not a good team by the time the Seahawks played them. And I'm going to disagree on the Tampa thing. All right, fine. That one bounced off the helmet. The one before also was a bad throw that bounced off his own player's hands and then was dropped for what would have been a pick six. I mean, like, I think those sort of balance out. You got to be able to do it in the big moments. And if that's the way that game dictated itself, as Mike Macdonald says, with the back and forth element of it, you got to be able to come out on top at the end. That's the way that game presented itself. Sorry.
So far, we're pretty accurate around the country. You got any?
All right.
Anyone that's not accurate?
I got a very short one from Evan Cohen.
Until proven otherwise, I'm going to say no. I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful. I'm going to go based on what I've seen from him over the last few years in those big games. Those are not his best games, so I need to be proven wrong.
And that was whether or not he can win a
Deliver
big game.
in big games. Same question.
Right.
Yeah. And just you got to see it. Same thing. I mean, Evan and I see that one the same way. All right. Here's Chris Long.
Now you're going to come out of this game and say, you know, the story is, and it's Sam Darnold in a big spot again, 4 picks. You can kind of tell watching this guy play that even with all the goodwill he builds up, Josh Allen was awful in spots today, but at the same time played like an MVP in so many other spots. You know, and I'm not saying he is the MVP, but what I am saying is, like, if you're going to throw 4 picks, I need you to make some big time throws too. Because as bad as it was, your team, that roster construction, John Schneider, the coaching job from Mike Macdonald, I mean, like, they put the clamps on the Rams after the first quarter there. That was very impressive.
Yeah, I must say that might be the least accurate, because to me, you did on the final 2 drives. Mm-hmm. And you gave yourself, you showed, like, man, that's as bad as you can play. You throw 4 picks, do you know how hard it is to continue to pull the trigger and not throw a 5th or a 6th or a ball gets tipped? Like, you got to have
it's sort of funny. Like, if you're a really good quarterback, you at least get the opportunity to do that, right? Russell Wilson in the NFC Championship game with all the balls that bounced off Curse's hand, just a weird game, right?
Yep.
I mean, like, really good quarterbacks get an opportunity to do that. There's plenty of quarterbacks who have thrown 3-4 picks in a game and don't get an opportunity because they get pulled.
Nope, that's right.
Like, yeah, you're good.
Or the game's so out of hand, it just doesn't even matter at that point. You get a bunch of just junk yards.
And like,
those weren't junk yards. That was a drive and a touchdown drive, and then it was from the 1 foot line. It was about as high leverage as you could possibly get to nearly put you. Right. And I wonder if that kick goes through. Does Chris Long have a totally different argument then?
Probably.
Like, yep, that's what MVP candidates do. I don't care how bad it looks. I don't care how many times you strike out 4 times. If you hit the home run in the bottom of the ninth,
right? Like, you got to get a little farther than a 61-yard field goal. And if he gets another 10 yards in there, if he completes one more pass, well, then maybe we're having a different conversation this morning. Good stuff, Brock. Shannon Drayer going to join us in 20. We'll go back, give you guys everything you need to know, including some really, really good news for the Seahawks offensive line. It is Brock and Salk on SeattleSports.com.
The Mariners start the offseason with a bang.
It might not be Christmas yet, but Mariners fans, Josh Naylor is going to be under the tree by this week.
Massive bat flip, Josh Naylor!
5-year deal rather than testing free agency.
The fan base has been awesome. It's like almost electric.
He's done it all. Great defense. Great at the plate.
Insider reaction and analysis at SeattleSports.com.
He's got the snarl on the field, but he is a good teammate.
And the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
I told you all yesterday I had a bit of a to-do list, and I checked every box, got it done. I've got some beef I got to pick up. I had to get the how I wanted it processed. Let's see what else I had to do. I had to make some invoices yesterday. And if you have on your to-do list, I don't anymore because we took care of this, Molly and I. We checked this box some years ago. But if you're sitting there going, I really need to take care of our insurance. I don't know if we're paying what we need to be paying. I don't know if we got covered what we need covered. I don't know why my premiums are going up. Then do what Molly and I and so many of my friends and family have done. Check the box. Take the First Mark Insurance Challenge and go find out. Here's how First Mark goes to work for you. They will analyze your coverage, making sure you're not overpaying for the wrong coverage. And then here's the difference. They go to the market. Dozens of major carriers they have worked with for decades to find you, your family, your situation, the very best fit. That's it. No stress, no confusion. They're your teammate, and they spent the last 30 years, yes, 30 years, helping thousands of families, including mine, my parents, so many of my friends, successfully manage this world of insurance. So please don't wait a morning longer. Go check the box. Knock off that to-do, and you might be the next First Mark Challenge victory I get to talk to. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. It's all right there. firstmarkinsurance.com. Your teammate that goes to work for you.
Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12, the new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers to deck those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
It's game time, and Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota Renton are lining up with a roster that's built to dominate the field. The gas-powered RAV4, built to power through every drive, rain or shine. Or switch up the play with the hybrid RAV4, versatile, efficient, and always dependable, and clutch when it counts. And now, taking the field, the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra, redesigned, powerful, and built for the big moments. Whether you're in the north or the south, Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton have your winning ride. Visit toyotaofkirkland.com and toyotaofrenton.com.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Temperatures are dropping, but you don't have to settle for a chilly home this winter. Keep cozy and safe with energy-saving products during Washington Energy's home heating sale on now. Upgrading your home is as easy as $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 off. Take $1,000 off furnaces, fireplaces, and water heaters, $2,000 off high-efficiency heat pump systems, and $3,000 off whole home generators and ductless mini splits, plus free financing. Washington Energy Services, your expert resource for affordable home comfort. Call for a free estimate.
You've heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Since 1926, my family's been helping local businesses make great first, second, and long-term impressions. We know how to make your company look good with quality uniforms, logoed apparel, floor mats, linens, and more. If you're paying for linen service or doing it yourself, let's have the conversation. The information and quote are free, but the savings and service can really add up. Visit suplinen.com. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Yeah, what looked like a disaster near the end of the game on Sunday, Brock, all of a sudden doesn't feel nearly so bad. Thankfully, Mike Macdonald coming out with a lot of good news yesterday regarding Gray Zabel and his knee. When we talked to him, he said optimistic, but still waiting to see. By, 3:30, 4 o'clock when he did his press conference, things were feeling a whole lot better.
Yeah, so really fortunate. There's, I guess we avoided a significant injury, which is really positive. I'd say the words I heard were day to day. You know how that goes. It could be day to day. It could be a week. It could be more than that. So, but nothing significant, which is a huge positive.
Yeah, when we went through, Brock, our most irreplaceable Seahawks, where was Gray Zabel on that? Top 6 or 7, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
You're starting to look at what
he
things
was right
were
on the
gonna
fringe
be.
of that. I think we went Charles Cross.
Okay.
Just because there was a little more interior line depth. But, yeah, I mean, it was scary. And I had a lot of friends that had the same feeling that I did after that game. Like, as tough as that loss was, if Gray Zabel tore his ACL and he's not back till this time next year, like, what an absolute catastrophic bummer.
Mm-hmm.
And even Sundell gets put on IR with what looked like a very similar injury, right? Kind of got fallen into, and they're going to put him on IR, and this sounds like that's not even necessarily a consideration. Heck, look at Salk. Salk's day to day. I mean, a year and a half later with a hammy. Like, if you had to go out there and run, Salk, who
My
feels
hammy
better?
hurt
You
so much the other day. I'm not even
Zabel?
joking. It hurts so much.
You got to You got to get some PT done.
I think I'm just old.
Will you go see my friends at IRG?
I don't think PT helps just being old. I think
go
that's
see
like
my
a
friends at
different
IRG.
issue. How about Julian Love, getting him back? I know Mike Macdonald would like to. We asked just how much he's counting down the days.
It's Christmas time, right?
Yes.
So my mom was awesome with Christmas. It was a great time of year. We always had a little calendar where you pluck the thing out of the, what are those things called? Advent calendars?
Yeah, Advent calendar.
Yeah, we have a Julian Love calendar.
Yeah, we got a Julian Love Advent calendar, and hopefully,
No
if
offense.
Lyle's not busy, I almost have to stop what we're doing, Brock, to
I
tell you
know.
about what's going on here.
I
Lyle,
heard
press
it.
the button, go to the next thing. I got this is unbelievable.
It's incredible.
Lyle has a fan club.
Here's the second thing.
What we
you
are
need
watching
to know.
right now is the changing of the guard.
The
dawn of a new generation.
It's a butterfly coming out of its cocoon.
I never seen anything like
it's a
this.
caterpillar turned butterfly.
So the Mercer, what is this? Mercer Island High School
Mercer Island High School
Radio Broadcast Club. They have a radio station 98.9. They have 88.9. 88.9. Sorry, I screwed it up. 88.9. 88.9 on Mercer Island.
Yeah.
So there's I don't know.
Bring in the voice. Bring in let the kids. Let's do the next two.
Who does?
And
yeah, put one kid over
whoever the voice is of 88.9. I'd like him to come into the
there's
room.
a bunch, Brock. You got to see. There's 15,
I know,
18
But they
there's
don't
always
care about
one
you
or
guys. They're
two.
here for Lyle.
I
They
know.
don't care about being on the
That's-
air. They just want to be on the Marine Layer podcast, Brock.
No,
They
I want to
mean
get one of them
nothing
or
to
two of them in the room.
They don't want it. They want to be on with Lyle, not with us. They don't care.
That's what I'm saying. They don't have to be on with
they're
us.
saying no.
No, they want Lyle, man. Brock, you should see it. It is it's like the Beatles. Oh, Lyle doesn't know who the Beatles are, and neither do probably most of them. But
The Stones.
It's like the screaming, Beatlemania in there as soon as they saw Lyle. Like, where's TJ? Oh my God, how long do you spend on the Marine Layer? Tell me about this. Tell me about that. It's unbelievable. Our little Lyle.
Look at him.
Well, to be fair, if you could take a picture from where I'm sitting right now,
they're about the same age.
They all fit it. Lyle fits right in.
Yeah,
He looks
for
just
sure.
like
For
all
sure.
of the high school kids.
And they're all on board with signing Kyle Tucker, so it's an easy transition.
All right. Stick one of them on the mic and give them the third need to know right now. Whoever jumps in first.
Yep.
Jump in first. Whoever's first on the draw. All right. Hit the button, Lyle.
Leaving the
Hit the button. Come on.
Third need to know.
Say something good.
Say something good. Say something nice.
We should get Tariq Skubal. Love that guy. Seattle native or Seattle U.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
All right. Who was that? Who said that? What's your name?
Tell everybody your name.
Theo Rudman here, voice of KMIH 89 The Bridge.
Oh, that had a little something to it there. All right. Pretty good.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
We can talk more about Skubal in a few minutes, Brock, as Shannon Drayer is going to join us. But the details are in on Naylor, at least. That deal did get done. 5 years, $92.5 million. That's $18.5 a year. Full no trade clause. And again, I just, for me, the timing of this is what works. Did they want to give him a fifth year? Probably not. Did they want to give him a full no trade clause? Probably not. But at 28, so you're paying for ages 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, that is just a much more manageable situation than doing it for a guy who's even a couple years older than him.
And we've talked about all the nitty-gritty of it. How about just like the big picture? How about Daniel Jeremiah comes on our show? What's the first thing he says? Congrats to your Mariners. Like, once again, you're just kind of the front page. You're not the back page. You're the front page of baseball.
Mm-hmm.
You were through the playoffs. You were one of the big stories. Cal Raleigh was over the course of the entire season, even through the MVP debate and all of it. And once again, what do? You start the market. We're the fire starter.
Yep.
We're the igniter. And, man, when was the last time the Mariners have done this for this period of time?
I don't know, but I really like the way they
Before
did
any
it.
of those high school kids in there were born, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, here's Ryan Divish on yesterday with Bump and Stacy. Yeah, happy to see them do something we haven't always seen.
I've been very critical of the Mariners about being unwilling to get out of their comfort level when it comes to signing guys or spending money on free agents. Well, they've done it. I mean, 5 years is more than anybody thought Josh Naylor was going to get. They went out and gave him 5 years, and that's why they're going to get him, because that's what they realize is, look, this guy fits. He wants to be here. They want him here. Make it happen. It would have been a colossal failure this offseason if they couldn't have made this work because of salary or whatever. Or they let it happen where the Mets came in and jumped in and gave him a whole bunch of money. Figure out how to get it done early. Offer a really good deal that makes him say, no, I'm going to take this because this is probably the best offer I'm going to get, and it's a place I want to be at. And I think that's what the Mariners did.
Yeah, the wooing started, Brock, long before the season ended. They obviously wanted to get this done. It was a process that culminated over the weekend, but I think started long before that. That is everything you need to know. 1:15 every hour. That is one thing I like about
autographs
Ryan.
in there now, too?
It is unbelievable.
Taking selfies? My God.
Dude, he's following that. They don't want any of that. They just want him to follow them on social media. This is the most eye-opening thing I've seen.
I mean, are we going to lose Lyle?
Probably.
The Lyle we always knew, just kind of the humble, just kind of the quiet asleep.
Okay.
Humble,
This is the most comfortable I've seen him in months. And when you say lose him, I'm worried they're going to carry him off on their shoulders like in a crowd surfing
like
situation.
King.
Yes, they're going to carry him away on their hands in the air. Lyle won't be able to do anything about it. And they're going to keep him in a basement down there at 88.9 and just force him to give hot takes all day or something.
That kid had a little something to him, didn't he?
Pretty good, right? Dude, this is I will jokes aside. We've had how many groups do you think have come through here? Kids groups, high schools, colleges,
Dozens.
community colleges,
Dozens,
if not hundreds, over the 17 years we've been doing this.
Yeah.
This group, no joke, is the most impressive I've seen. And I wouldn't just say, I think you know me. Yep. I would not just say that because they're here. I would not. Oh, they're cheering. They're engaged. They ask questions. Yep. They have like a whole they're awesome. Yep. I heard one person in there. I was.
You were uncomfortable.
No, I was in the back, Brock. I had nothing to say. Nobody would talk to me. They're all talking to Lyle. So I'm just in the back watching. And I eavesdropped because, nobody wants to hear from me. It was fine. I kept my mouth shut. Yeah. I heard somebody say, and it was kind of quiet. It was whispered to a friend, but I heard it. This is the best field trip I've ever been on. And I was like, oh, man, that's pretty legit. What? Like, just coming in here to see us. Like, I don't know what that says about the other field trips.
Let's
be very
clear.
But, yeah.
If I'd come here on a field trip, maybe I would have actually cared about school.
Oh, Jesus. You know what? You guys, don't listen to Lyle anymore. Learn Shakespeare. It's important. We'll be right back with Shannon Drayer. And then, do you want to answer the question, Jerk? We probably should. Well, I haven't even set it up. My God.
But then you can't hang with the kids. I don't know. It's up to you.
Yeah, I don't think we can do it today, Brock. There's too much going on. All right, we'll do some other stuff. We'll do it later this week. It's Brock and Salk. Shannon next. Coming up.
The Mariners start the offseason with a bang.
It might not be Christmas yet, but Mariners fans, Josh Naylor is going to be under the tree by this week.
Massive bat flip, Josh Naylor!
5-year deal rather than testing free agency.
The fan base has been awesome. It's like almost electric.
He's done it all. Great defense. Great at the plate.
Insider reaction and analysis at SeattleSports.com.
He's got the snarl on the field, but he is a good teammate.
And the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
All right, we are getting real close. A week from Thursday is Thanksgiving. And so if you're hosting like I am this year, we got a whole family crew coming in town. You want to make sure everybody's warm and comfortable, especially as the weather starts to drop. Maybe that's true of the winter holidays as well. In order to do that, you got to make sure that your insulation is up to snuff. Call Crawl Pros, have them come out, check out the entire situation behind that attic or crawl space. They'll get it done for free and then let you know what's going on. Do you have damaged insulation? No insulation, problems that they can fix? Well, here's the good news. If you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could qualify to receive a rebate on up to 95% to properly insulate your crawl space and attic. Okay, now if you want to combine those local rebates with federal tax credits, you got to act now. Federal tax credits set to expire at the end of the year. So do this immediately. Call Crawl Pros if you have any concerns about critters, mold, water damage, plumbing issues, anything else related to your crawl space or attic. Call Crawl Pros or visit crawlpros.com.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for RLE. That's Refractive Lens Exchange. Now, Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, no contacts, readers, or cataracts. Now, if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top: you never develop a cataract. Now, if you're somebody like me that had a pair of readers in every room of the home, in your car, you had to bring them into the restaurant with you. Otherwise, like me, you couldn't read the menu. That has all been rectified thanks to RLE. So whether it's LASIK, EVO, ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to recommend what's best for you. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III! Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
What's your holiday tradition?
It's G. Scott here. For me, it's gathering with loved ones around a meal that brings joy. For many families, that tradition feels out of reach. Next time you shop at Safeway, please donate to Nourishing Neighbors. Your gift provides groceries to families across Washington, giving them access to nutritious food and the dignity to shop like the rest of us and choose what's meaningful for their holiday table. Visit nourishingneighbors.com and donate at your Safeway checkout. That's nourishingneighbors.com.
Ryan Roland Smith here. For more than 35 years, the NBA Health Insurance Trust has been helping local builders, contractors, and their employees save money and gain peace of mind. They offer customized group health plans from the state's leading insurance providers. Small and mid-sized businesses deserve big healthcare access. The NBA Health Trust brings you the coverage you want at a price you can trust. Find out more at MBAHealthTrust.com. That's MBAHealthTrust.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
It's been kind of it's been kind of a weird day here on the Brock and Salk Show. Still a little out of sorts. Huh?
That was something.
It really was, man. The Lyle thing was crazy.
Some juice.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable. People love Lyle. It's just great.
Are you on the gram, Salk? Are you on the gram?
I'm on Instagram, but I don't use it for work.
You don't?
Yeah. I mean, I use the Twitter still for work. You know how I don't like it much, but I do. I use it for work occasionally and to push out content because we spent so long just kind of building up the following and that. I like to keep Instagram just sort of personal for me. And, people follow me, I guess, but I don't use it a lot for anything.
It is remarkable, though, when you're around
I use it for reels.
That age group, as I am with Titus and all his boys and, the girl, it's all Instagram. I mean, that's all they all want.
Oh, really? Not Snapchat? I hear mostly about Snapchat and that stuff.
Right?
Yeah, I would say I hear more Snapchat. But I will I would just finish this by saying those kids were super engaged, and the most impressive part of it is that they weren't staring at their phones for the entire 30 minutes they were here. They were actually engaged in conversation as opposed to just staring at their phones, and it's amazing what a huge difference that is. All right, let's bring Shannon Drayer into this conversation. Our Mariner insider. Good morning, Shannon. How are you?
I'm well. I guess I should pick up my phone now.
No, not for very long. You want to stay engaged. You want to stay engaged with what's happening, or just suck up to Lyle. That seems to be a big part of the day, at least for these teenagers. What was your reaction, Shannon, when you were in a couple weeks ago? You scared the daylights out of us on Josh Naylor, and now he's here, which is great news.
Okay, you chose to be scared by what I said. I'm just going to say that. I was pointing out some very obvious things at the time. But
you were scary, Shannon. You were scary. You were telling ghost stories. You made me very scared.
That's on you. That is on you. I think it is. My reaction was, okay, it's so good in so many ways for the club. Obviously, on the field, what he can bring. Huge off the field, the impact that he's had with his teammates in the clubhouse, on the field, and then, of course, just the instant love affair with the whole city of Seattle. It was great to see that it was mutual because it would have been very easy for him to take his time, find the best offer if that's the way that he was going to go, or, look at what might be a better fit. And it's a pretty cool thing when a player comes over, and Luis Castillo did the same thing a couple of years ago, and he did it in a matter of 3 weeks and said, yep, this is where I want to be. This works. I like it. I want to be a part of it. And a big part of that also is I think I can win here. And so along those lines, which is basically everything, I think it was just such a great move for the Mariners, for the city, for Josh Naylor. It's a real feel-good thing. And it's not the only one. Julio deciding, yep, I'm going to sign, I'm going to re-up. We're watching right now, if anybody's watching the A-Rod series, that's kind of what I took when A-Rod was here. Why did people kind of turn on him? Well, he never said yes to the Mariners. He never said yes. There were a lot of players that came in and, yeah, we want to stick around. Julio, yep, nope, I'm going to sign this right now. Cal, yeah, I'm going to sign this right now. Luis Castillo, 3 weeks, I'm going to stay. Naylor just did the same thing, and that's kind of when you really know that you've got some special things going, and I think we saw that throughout the year with the way that the fans were starting to bond with this team, like I don't think we've seen in a long time, And now we're seeing the response, from the ownership, from Dipoto and Hollander making that priority one. And I think there's just kind of a good synergy between the whole thing.
What did you learn behind the scenes and how this came together really is the first big move of all of free agency?
I think it was pretty eye-opening. I mean, I think that you talk about all the time when you trade for a player and it's a player that's going to be a free agent at the end of the year and you hope you can sign them to an extension, and it usually doesn't happen. I think that you saw the impact that short amount of time can have. And I think that is huge. It didn't take much. It didn't take too long. And along the way, he helped them, get further in the postseason than they have ever. And I think it really just showed the value of the different ways that you can acquire players. And it's something the Mariners have been very invested in that second half type season thing. And to see the success with that, I thought was important.
Why do you think he said yes?
I think it was a mixture of everything. I think it was probably checking all the boxes. One of the questions I had about it was, and one of the interesting things is that had it been a 4-year contract, I'm sure the AAV would have been a little bit higher. But I think that 5th year meant something to him. And then the other interesting thing about it, the no trade. That doesn't necessarily mean that I absolutely want to stay here for 5 years. Of course, it means he has more control if it does come to that situation, and that could be advantageous to the player as well. But I think that it probably checked off more boxes than we know. And Josh has talked about, he seems, this isn't important to me, that isn't important to me. I don't talk to players out on the base paths and things like that. And then you see him doing exactly that. I think he likes to play the cards a little bit close to his chest. It could be a little bit of a contradiction probably because that's what he wants to project at times. But I think that it does show that the stability really meant something to him and that everything worked for him. And he had a good exposure to it. He had 2 months. And so I think he looks around, check like the teammates, check like the manager, check. Looks like the front office is doing good things. The development is good. You wonder if you talk to Cal about that. That was important to him, is what's going to be around me next year, the year after that, the year after that. I think that, and then the area as well. Josh Naylor is a unique personality, and it is something that gelled with the area right away. And I find it also interesting that he is a brand new dad, about 2 months into it right now. And so you would think that those things come into play too. I'm not saying he's going to live there year round, but perhaps, I don't think that we know everything about him. He doesn't really, he shows lots of different sides, and then there are things that he can, wants to hold back. But you think that that's probably had to play into it at some point too. So to me, it's interesting, and I'll be interested to see how it evolves. But, it's a place that he clearly felt very comfortable about. And, maybe you thank the guys in the clubhouse for helping that too.
I think, Shannon, when you scared us, Shannon Drayer here with us, our Mariners insider, not quite to January yet. I think when you scared us a couple weeks ago, and you scared me too, you scared the, what out of Salk. He was so scared. He was in the fetal position. I had to pick him up back to get back on the chair. We were so scared. You did talk about the Northeast, and you did talk about family, and you did talk, about Seattle, a long way from a lot of that. Now that this is done and now that it's signed, sealed, and delivered, do you think this has a tangible benefit to help attract others, whether that is their own in Suarez or Polanco, or, to end that conversation, a narrative we've heard in the past of, it's so hard to hit, and, it's so far away, and, blah, blah, blah. Do you think a contract like this can have a tangible long-term benefit to recruit and help get others here as well?
I think it's already there. I think we've seen enough players commit, good players commit, and I think this, continues to help with that. I think every individual is going to be different. So for some, they're going to have, different priorities, and it doesn't matter, what they say when you're at first base, standing there talking to them and about how great a place it is. But I think if there are players that kind of doubt it or wavering a little bit, they can look. And I think that a big part of it, obviously, dollars are a huge part with everybody, but for the true competitors out there, for the guys that are at the top of their game, they want to compete, they want to win, and that plays into it too. So to see other players that they know are driven to do that, to see that kind of player in Josh Naylor, sign, I do think that it is something that helps, but I think we should be beyond that narrative, which it was more than a narrative. I mean, there were players who certainly did not want to come to Seattle, but I think it's probably time to put that one to rest.
All right, Shannon Drayer with us now. More on this later. Justin Hollander is going to join Wyman and Bob 3 o'clock this afternoon, so you can listen to the GM himself, Justin Hollander, who Ryan Divish very unsubtly referred to as an executive who talks fast and loves Ohio State. Yeah, I wonder who he could possibly be talking about. Speaking of Divish, Shannon, he threw out a couple of possible signings yesterday while he was talking to Bump and Stacy. I thought I'd run both by you and get your thoughts. He said offer Polanco the Garver deal, 2 years, $12 million apiece, with a third player option, and offer Gino Suarez 1 year, somewhere between 8 and 12, which I know is a large gap. What do you make of either of those two possibilities?
The latter, I don't think, or the latter, Suarez.
Yeah.
I don't think it's done at that. I think there will be suitors for him. And I think probably with Polanco in kind of, following different teams and what they're looking at and how he is viewed, that 821 OPS is very attractive to people. The positional versatility, and now people are starting to play up first base more, which I think is legitimate. I'm just surprised that they know it. I think that probably, I think the years and the option are right. I think the dollars, it might take more than that as well.
You want to go 2 by 15 for Jorge Polanco? Like, you want to give Jorge Polanco 2 years, $30 million with the possibility of more?
Yep. I'm going, the possibility it would be in plate appearances. So if he's hurt, his problem is going to be if he gets hurt.
Right.
That's the only, we know he's a good hitter. I have no question he's a good hitter. I am told he could play and stand in at first base very well. And if he continues to work at it, and you think about it, I mean, he was a decent infielder at one place, at one spot. He was a shortstop for a long time. If you put him in a more restricted position like first base, he still has the instincts. He still has the reach. And watching him do the work, I think he would be fine there. You don't need it as much, but if you do, it's there. I just go back to what I said. I mean, would you rather take a flyer on, one of the Japanese players that you don't know what they're going to look like?
No.
Against major league pitching, when you are talking about more years and more dollars that you are risking? Or, okay, maybe we go $2-3 million over.
No, Shannon, I'm with you on that. I think if you're not going to go down the Polanco road, or if somebody else outbids you for it and you just don't want to go deep down that path, to me, it's not about another player that plays the same position for roughly the same money. It's about taking that money and using it to go get something totally different, just moving in a different direction. And whether that is spending bigger money in right field or on the pitching staff or something, I don't know what that is.
Okay,
but
you're not going to spend money in right field, though. That's the thing. They believe in Canzone.
Okay.
Now, if you were going to do that, then I would recommend maybe you're looking at left field.
I think there's an opportunity to do that as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm not discounting that
and,
either.
Let's point to Canzone for a minute. He played a little bit more than a half a season in at bats this year, and I believe had the second best OPS on the team. He was well over 800, and the strikeout to walk ratio was pretty much the same as Naylor's was. So,
Look,
I mean,
Shannon, I get it, but all I heard all throughout the postseason from everybody was the Mariners 7-8-9 isn't nearly as good as the Blue Jays.
He had a bad postseason. He didn't hit in the postseason.
Told me that he was bad. I heard it from everyone.
Near 300 at bats or plate appearances he had.
Every listener, every text message said the Mariners don't have a good enough 7-8-9. I'm just trying to help them out with that. Shannon? We lose Shannon?
She's done with you.
No, she's not done with me. I agree with her. I know he had good numbers last year. I'm trying to understand why everybody got so mad and told me that the Mariners didn't have a good 7-8-9 because they didn't play good for 2 weeks. The dumbest thing I've ever heard.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, we're talking a half season, so I'm hoping that's what he really is. He doesn't have it. If he'd done that for 2 years, if he had done that for 3 years, I feel really great about it. but maybe I'm willing to roll the dice on you've got a young, good hitter there.
But Shannon, I guess my point is, let's say you don't go with Polanco. This is why I love these conversations. Brock, don't worry about you. Just go back to having your mic not work again.
I'm here.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll get you in a sec.
Talk to the kids.
Shannon, this is kind of what, so let's play the fun game. You don't sign Polanco. You move Canzone to DH because regardless of how we feel about his hitting, I think we can all agree that he's a okay right fielder who they really didn't want to have in right field much during the postseason if they could help it, and that's unlikely to improve as he gets older. Okay, so now Canzone's more of a regular DH as opposed to a right fielder, and maybe then can spend some money in right field. I know you got Robles, and that's another option, and maybe he's your extra outfielder. But maybe I know Lyle likes Kyle Tucker. I don't think that that's a realistic possibility. I'm just saying what I love about the Naylor deal is that it allows them to do pretty much whatever they want next. If they want to go with Polanco, great. If he gets too expensive for them, in no way do I think they have to be beholden to bringing back Jorge Polanco because the pivots might be just as good, if not better, because there are a lot of other options out there.
At what price?
I don't know. I mean, it depends which option. I mean, that's what's so great about this to me. Have so many options.
Yes, but I do think that he is a good fit. If he gets outrageous, probably not. But if you are, again, if you're talking about $2 million, are we talking 12? Are we talking 14? Are we talking 15? And again, if it is an option, based on plate appearances, I'm not worried about that third-year option.
Okay, so now we've got this settled.
If you're talking about, and how important was he to that lineup? How important was a healthy Jorge Polanco?
I mean, when he was great, he was unbelievable and arguably the most important part of the lineup. And then there were huge parts of the year where he was awful. Not as bad as he was the year before. And every player is going to go through those ups and downs. I grant that. He was a really good player last year. This isn't a shot at Jorge Polanco. I probably have a little more concern with his age than I should, just based on some of the injury history and how much they had to nurse him through the season.
Yes, right. But they didn't have to nurse him too much this year. And you have the DH position. And he has the flexibility still. And I'm not signing him because of the flexibility, but it certainly fits with what they're trying to do. Now, could you go out and sign somebody who hits perhaps a little bit less, who has a little bit, maybe equal flexibility for less than that? Well, I don't know. I mean, are you talking, $4 or $5 million? Are you talking 8? Or are you talking 10? And at that point, how much does that matter?
No, Brock, your sound isn't working again. What are you doing? We're trying to let you talk, man. Your sounds, we can't hear you. Stop muting yours. Oh my gosh, Brock's giving me the, oh my God. He's pushing me away like an old grandmother. By the way, Shannon, can you set the record straight for the 509? There's a question here, and I thought you could answer better than me. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Do Shannon and Salk truly hate each other? It's hard to listen to them bicker like a disgruntled 50-year married couple unwilling to get a divorce.
So funny because usually we agree far too much.
Right. Yeah. No,
Did you hear me?
I'm like, you're having me on to say the same thing because I agree with you on most things.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Brock.
You can hear me now?
Yes.
Those doggone Mercer Island kids are trying to get on my line.
They unplugged you.
Yes, they did. Trying to mess me up. So yesterday, my lovely wife, Miss Molly, had to send the kids that are outside the nest a little reminder text and said, no wish list, no gifts. Very simple when it comes to the Christmas season. They've been, procrastinating. So, Shannon, I'm going to ask you right now, your wish list. Okay, narrow it down. 1, 2, 3. Now the Naylor's done, and you get your big wish list. You get the ribbon on the car and all that stuff. Really cute. Now give me 1, 2, and 3 on Shannon Drayer's wish list as the hot stove gets cooking.
Another leverage arm in that bullpen.
That's number 1.
Another infielder with a track record that will help bring along the young infielders that are coming up.
Are you including Polanco in that group?
Yes,
not the young infielders, but the older ones. Yes. Okay.
Yes, definitely the older ones. And number 3, and I don't know how they do it, a leadoff hitter.
How about in right field? I mean, and that could be Robles, honestly, Shannon. I mean, like, that could be Robles, right? If he reverts to the player he was not this past year, but the year before. Maybe there's a conversation about Randy. You brought up left field before, and I think you're absolutely right to do so. You know, Randy's going to make, Spotrac says
$18 million.
Okay, Spotrac says 16. Maybe it's 18. Okay.
I'm going with MLB trade rumors, and they're usually right.
All right.
$18 million.
So let's go with 18. I mean, that's a significant chunk of change. Now, he was a good player last year, put up really good numbers over the course of 6 months.
So for the last 2 months of the season in the playoffs, like the other outfielder we were talking about.
I know. So what? So what do you do there? What is your sense with Randy? Do you can non-tender him, which means just let him walk away. You can pay him the, let's call it $18 million, or you can try to work out some sort of a trade or a long-term deal. But those are kind of your 3 or 4 options.
Well, I don't think they non-tender him because I think they would hold on to him and trade him if it is their intent to do something there. And I don't know if that is. So for me, I look long and hard at it because if you're talking about a couple of million here or there because of Polanco, that's a large chunk of change on Arozarena. And I know that we would like them to, spend whatever they can, but there's also the concern of what we saw for the last 2 months of the season. And, that was a little jarring to see him start the season the way that he started the season, to know what the postseason means to him. I think they've got to figure that one out.
Shannon, was it Ryan Rowland-Smith who we were talking to said that he was dealing with a hamstring issue throughout the year, which is why the running went down? Was that in the by the way, Shannon hosted this really great roundtable that I was kind of obnoxious during. I kind of took over. I felt bad about it afterwards. It's what I get for trying to do anything at noon. I'm just not awake. It's a bad idea. It's the middle of the night. And I'm sorry, Shannon. I'm sorry to you and sorry to Ryan. I was kind of a jerk there and I feel bad. But I think it was Ryan during that thing that said that he was dealing with a hammy throughout the year. It limited his running ability, and I wonder if it did limit some of what he was able to do at the plate in the last few months.
I'm not sure about that, and if that were the case, then yes, because we've seen that with others. We saw it with Polanco.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have your backside, you're in trouble, and we saw that with him. But we also saw him he stole 30 bases, didn't he?
Yep.
But a lot of them came early in the year. The rate slowed down. I guess what I would say is the rate slowed down.
They did, but yes, it did. So, I mean, that's a possibility. And he also played almost every day.
I know. But was some of it sacrificing? Who knows? I mean, that's the fun things about Shannon. We got to go. We're late now. Brock didn't even get to ask you about Scooble. Brock really wants Scooble, Shannon.
I'm really glad he didn't.
Shannon does not want that, Brock. Shannon, don't even ask Shannon.
No, it's not that I don't want it.
She scared us last time, and now she doesn't want that.
She doesn't want it. She's out on Scooble.
Until he is available.
Okay.
It's not one that I entertain too much.
All right. Well, Buster's going to join us Thursday. He was the one who started this whole thing with Scooble, so we'll talk to Buster on Thursday morning. Shannon, as always, thank you. Sorry for the bickering today, but of course, we hold you in the greatest of respect.
No bickering.
Right.
You should see us off the air. Shannon, you're the absolute best. Love you. Talk soon. We're going to have to get out of here. Lyle's busy reading his fan mail, so he doesn't even know I'm trying to get the music going here. No. Everybody loves Lyle now. He doesn't have any time for us anymore, Brock.
Distracted by fame. So it happens.
Lyle, are you going to be able to walk out of the building today, or is your head going to be too large to fit through that door?
Walk. He's floating. You kidding me? Like a float. The New York City Marathon parade. Thanksgiving Day parade float. Lyle Goldstein.
Lyle, you think we're mean to you? We're just here to keep you grounded because of these kids that build you up so much. We got to make sure you don't get a big head.
Well, now I'm even more concerned about Lyle's messaging about hating school and learning, knowing that his target demographic is high school.
Agreed. Agreed. All right. Thank you to Shannon. Thanks to DJ. We will, who do we have tomorrow? Oh, Joel Klatt tomorrow. I never bicker with Joel, so that should be fun. I better get my sleep and eat my Wheaties. We'll see you guys at 6 a.m., Brock. Until then, the hay.
It's in the barn.
See everybody.
Get to the chopper!
Down on the field is Gray Zabel.
A big sigh of relief for the Seahawks.
Really fortunate. I guess we avoided a significant injury, which is really positive.
While Zabel recovers.
It could be day-to-day. It could be a week. It could be more than that.
Who steps up?
God bless Christian Haynes, man. He came in there. He's a tough sucker with heavy hands.
This is the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports. on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
This year, make comfort the first gift during the Black Friday sale at Home Comfort Alliance. Through December 1st, call to get savings up to 75% off furnaces, air conditioners, backup generators, EV chargers, water heaters, and more. If your system's over 12 years old, upgrade now before it breaks and save. And remember to schedule your consultation before December 1st and save up to 75% and take 18 months to pay off 0% financing OAC. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com today.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bail Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bailalarm.com today.
Don't miss the Daniel Jeremiah Show, presented by Marquee Data.
I think he's been awesome.
Tuesday mornings at 8:30 with Brock and Salk.
If this is where he is right now, he could win an MVP.
Only on Seattle Sports.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything! The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu!
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through